Twitch chat, hello, welcome back. Today is the finals day. Joining me once again is Offma, who did such a fantastic job yesterday. We decided to get him back. Offma, hello.
Yep, what's up?
Hello, welcome. Offma, we had some pretty cool games on the stream yesterday, right? And we're going to see some really exciting matchups once again here today. Now, the first semi-final we're going to watch, we did see one of these teams play yesterday, which is Slot Machine. So that is the kind of superstar duo made up of King Dans and Fine, both multiple Nova Cup winning champions, never played together before though. And their opponents pretty much the same description, to be honest, because this is Drakir and Adams. So once again, two extremely well accomplished players. I don't think they've played tournament together before, but this makes for a pretty exciting matchup, right? We've got four players, all of whom are very much at the top of the game. I think Drakir is the current rank one, but all four of them have had their stints up there in the past, for sure. And two teams that haven't really played tournament together before. So then, which side is going to win through? You know, who's going to be the most accomplished superstar, if you like, or which team will find their dynamic the quickest and be able to capitalize? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Drac and Adamas, I think, played one tournament together before this one. I forget if it was last month or the month before then. But so they have like a little bit of experience together, but I don't think it's so significant. Like there is a certain element to getting used to how the other person, I guess, maybe not in Finding King guys' case talking, but for Jack and Adamas, I know Adamas loves to talk about communication. Whenever I played with him in Nova Cups, he was always big on like we have to talk, we have to keep saying what we're thinking about, what we're planning. So it's definitely an important thing for them, especially Adamas is a great like strategical player.
Mhm.
Obviously he's got great individual skills, but I feel like his team play is what shines through in Nova. So something to watch out for. But it didn't look like the lack of communication and voice hurt Finding Kingdoms yesterday.
No, they played
So
very well, but they did at least
yeah,
sweat against Ashton and Excord, didn't they? I think
yeah,
that was a
yeah,
2-1 series, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so
And
so the king can
for
bleed.
sure. Yeah, for sure. I think both. I would expect three games, but
Mm.
anything can happen. Best of three, things can happen pretty quickly in Legion, and I'm not sure who to favor. Maybe like you want to give slight edge to Draken and Adamas just because again King hasn't been playing, but to be honest, he
Yeah, but
looked
we
completely
say
fine
this every
yesterday.
month. King hasn't been
Every month,
playing, and
yeah.
then every month he just sweeps, right? So it's a difficult one to call. But for sure, I totally agree with your assessment. I think it's going to be um, a very high caliber game. I would
Yeah.
probably also give the slight edge to Drakir and Adams, just because Drakir's current rank one, King Dan's hasn't been playing as much lately, and of course Drakir has those dev hacks available, so he can always just speed up his own Mythium gathering rate, slow down the enemies, make their towers have 10% less HP, all of that stuff.
Make
Uh,
sure his YOLO roll is perfect.
yeah, I mean, I played a YOLO game with Drak, and his YOLO rule looked very much handpicked, and mine did not. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool matchup. And then on the other semi-final, we have the worst polls. So that is Fake One and Pakistan, and they are facing off against X Crash, who we saw play a couple of series yesterday. Well, three series yesterday actually. We saw X Crash play. They've earned their spot here in the semi-final as well. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens on the other side of the semi. But for now, let's see if we can hop into this game between King Dams, Drakir, Adams, and Fine. We have
All
got a
right.
lobby available. We are just waiting on Fine.
Yeah. Or we're waiting on Adamas.
Oh, Adams, yeah.
He likes to take the maximum time to get prepped.
Alright. Okay, so are you expecting any kind of strategic developments in this matchup, Offmer? Do we see a scrapper pick? Do we see early game pressure? Do we see yellow guys on 7? What do you think?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to actually look over the games from Draken Adamas, only saw their masterminds. And it looks like they're playing for Adamas Chaos Redraw, and then Drac was playing Kingsguard, Megamind, and Lock in Random. Although I
Okay.
did see him click Saboteur once, so he tried a
Okay.
little bit of Ashton's juice, but I don't
Yeah,
think he won
I
that
think
game.
Ashton's the only player who's allowed to like unironically click Saboteur. So for Drakira, I think it must have been a misclick.
Yeah, must have.
Yeah.
But in any case, I think we'll see much of the same, I think, for Finding Kingdans. I don't remember them picking Chaos Redraw, though. I think they played mostly just Standard and even played Fiesta Cartel one game.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
it's, I guess, a slight difference if they're not opting for those like ultra late game
Yeah.
role selection
So
domination
I,
ones.
I, I feel like Fiesta should be in like its weakest ever position right now, just with how things
Yeah,
have changed with like the leak gold and stuff like that. So Fiesta players are going to be hurting more, their opponents are going to be scaling more. Uh,
yeah.
so in my mind, at least, Fiesta shouldn't be good, but these players obviously know something that I don't when they pick it. So
Yeah, I feel like we saw both sides of the Fiesta coin in that Kingdan's Ashen duel, if you will.
hmm
Like the first game, Ashen was Fiesta, and King sending to him kind of just out snowballed him. And then the last game, King was Fiesta, and just managed to, I guess they just ended the game on 11. So
yeah,
it worked out for them that way. And I guess it's just a matter of how the Fiesta gameplay works in the first few waves. Like King managed to basically get away with some pretty big risks,
hmm
and he had that like kind of weird role where he only had tier sixes available basically.
hmm
But still, like just the individual risk taking he had, just all of them paid off, and he was able to kind of. I mean, he wasn't so far ahead like in that first game, but he was able to create the lead.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, Okay, I mean, we're still waiting on Adams to join. One thing that's worth mentioning, I think, is that King Dans and Adams both known Chaos abusers, so I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see Chaos redraw relied on quite heavily. But you said they didn't pick it yesterday, so that's interesting.
Yeah, King was, sticking to the standard, but maybe he's feeling ready to play some chaos again.
Yeah,
But I expect to see it from Adamas for sure.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Adams is very, very good at Chaos, and I say that with a massive pain behind my eyes because I absolutely despise admitting that he might have any skill involved with his chaos rolls. But there you go.
Naturally.
He has joined the lobby now as well, guys. So I'm very, very excited to announce that this first game of the June semi-finals is here. We have Drakir and Adams on the left, making up respectable gamers. We have Fine and Kingdans on the right. They are slot machine. So without any further ado, and I will actually just very quickly change the scoreboard around because I have them on the other side. Get into game number one. Well,
Yeah,
when
let's do
Adams
it.
wants to finish loading, so last to the party, last to load as well, so that gives us a bit more time to pad actually. But guys, here we go. Game number one.
Yeah, they're on the left because Drakir grinded solo queue right before the tournament to
What a
get that
beast.
first seed. So we have Pawn Shop and then two aggressive spells. So Chaos for Adamas, I would not be surprised at all. And Lock and Random Kingsguard for Mining King. I think those are two of the best masterminds around. So
Yeah.
not surprised at all. So it's actually a redraw for Adamas rather than the Chaos. And Cartel for Drac.
Pretty good
So I mean,
rolls all around. I mean, obviously Adam's on redraw, so he kind of has everything available to
yeah.
him. But King Dan's has a really nice kind of flying force roll with those three tier 3 units,
Mhm.
really, really well paired together. Fine has a bunch of just solid powerhouse units. No really obvious synergies there, though, outside of just unit quality.
Yeah,
Okay.
the snails are coming. Well, Fine doesn't look like he'll play a snailable opener. He could play the Nightmare, he could play the Flower, but honestly, his role is not that great. Maybe the Poda as his best opener with the Howler, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Potter.
not snailable.
Well, King Dans is going to be caught unaware here with this snail. And remember, it's now
Yeah.
more punishing than ever, right? So he's going to lose an extra gold for every creep that leaks here.
Yeah, it's not fun to get snailed. I think this is actually what happened in the game they lost yesterday in the uppers. He started Windhoek and got snailed,
Yeah.
and had a bit of a tricky game after that. He basically had that board that was only Windhawks and veterans. This time around, he has, well, he could do the same thing, but I imagine he'll lean on his other units as well.
I mean, the gold loss is not insignificant, right? So this is 8 creeps here from King Dans. That's 16 gold he loses on wave 1, and 16 gold that Adams will gain as well.
Yeah, and well, not 16 gold, right? It's only 8, I think.
Okay, only 8 for
Yeah, when
Adams,
you
but
lose
still,
16, they get 8.
still 16 lost, yeah. And no gold gained for Drakir, because he made the mistake of not sending into the Windhawk player.
Yeah, what a noob. But a snail here, an income for king. So that is the nice thing. At least he was able to get that.
Yeah.
But um, actually, I think Drac had a snail and income and chose not to send it. So I'm not 100% sure, but I would imagine Oathbreaker would have gotten it.
Yeah, I mean, he has
So
35 income,
yeah,
Mythium now. There's no way he didn't have it, I think.
yeah. So I guess kind of interesting. Usually you would expect to always take that, but maybe wants to just have a little more pressure on this Poda.
Yeah.
Perhaps catch it if it goes 6 workers here
And
with
Fine
something
has
like
gone
a
6
67.
workers. Yeah.
Or maybe he's going. Oh, he's just a snail.
Oh,
So
he's giving him the drip. This is the old shadow style drip, drip, drip.
yeah,
One snail
it's,
at a time.
I saw a lot of that yesterday actually from Shadow, where he had like 100 Mythium and only sent a DT so he could build,
Yeah.
and then kept the pressure. But the thing here is the pressure won't matter too much because the Howler is just really, really broken on 4. So basically no risk at all.
hmm
King, the only person on 5 workers, unfortunately, but that's kind of the way it goes with Flying Force, right? You can't get any of these crazy pushes off, but it's
Yeah.
pretty hard to leak, and once you get those power spikes out, like the Violets, then you can really start going.
As soon as wave 4 is over, I think his role really starts to
Mhm.
come into its own, and then we might see King Dan's pushing pretty hard. Alright,
So,
Drakir does
small
go
leak
for
here.
a small leak here against the double snail.
Yeah.
But Adam's able to cover that, so still no king damage to be dealt here on wave 3. And this kind of evens up the gold
Yeah.
lost on wave 2, on wave 1, sorry,
Yeah.
by King Dans.
Well, for King it's about equal. For Drac it's just minus 14. But here he goes for the Brute Send, so not daunted by these Howlers. And Fine is actually going for a Veteran here over just full dogs. Maybe just wanting to get already some of that Arcane, thinking about Wave 7.
Yeah,
We'll
I mean,
see
it
if
makes
it
sense.
comes back to bite him here.
Oh, this is a
But
big send. That Brute wailing away on the Veteran. It goes down very, very quickly. That was a bunch of Fine's HP budget for the lane. And now the Brute is about
yeah,
to hit the Pota. Will she get one more spell? She will.
I mean, this looks pretty okay.
It's completely fine. This was a
Yeah,
100 Mythium send, and he leaks a Brute plus 2 creeps. This would be less fine if King Dan's leaks, but I think the Tempest should have enough left in the
looks
tank.
okay. Yeah. And King is already going for his patented build as many Windhawks as possible build.
Well, everyone's after that coveted 4th Violet power spike.
Yeah.
Here we go, though, a little bit of King damage being dealt here on wave 4. It always surprises me just how much damage that Brute does. Remember, this is a King's
Yeah.
Guard King, and it's still 7% HP lost.
So finding King go for a save here. I like that. Just trying to pressure, I would imagine, 6 and 7, maybe just to help Fine a bit. And King is not the best, is not gonna be the best on 7 either. So holding this pressure onto 6 makes some sense.
hmm
And another thing to note is Drac is Cartel, so something like that early Brute does hurt. And um, when other people go for these sort of starves against you in the early game, it's usually like you won't leak the Cartel player, but you just try and keep him from popping off.
Yeah. I mean, Fine and Kingdans have some very real pressure here on wave 6. Drakir and
Yeah, it's gonna
Adams
be
look
brutes.
both quite bad there. Now, we do see that Adams has a Berserker in his role. Will he get enough gold for that? Because that's going to be crucial, especially if King leaks here.
Yeah, this would be a pretty nice pro league here.
Let me see if we can get the emote out. We can. That's a very juicy pro leak there from King when they're saving so much Mythium.
Yeah. And that may actually let them get to triple brute. Not quite, I
I
think.
think
But
Kingdans will get to it. I think
oh yeah,
Fine is
with
like
10
one
workers.
Mythium short.
He did have to push, and I don't think he wanted to. So we'll see if that costs him in his own lane. But the Zerker is a huge ad, like you said. I
Yeah,
would be careful. Like this Adam may die,
yeah, we'll keep
just
eyes on
because
it.
no upper split. But Drac does have the big oath, so we'll see if only like one brood goes on it. Maybe this can work out.
Yeah, and Fine was about 2 Mythium short of that third brute, which is a
We need
shame.
two birds here. I don't actually know how this will go. He
Nakamata
does have the
dies
sea dragon.
very fast there in Adam's lane. This thing is absolutely popping off. It's clearing up the left side very well.
Yeah.
It does go
But
down now,
not
but it's done
enough.
its job, I think. Will he kill one more brute? He won't!
Ooh.
Oh
That's
no!
brutal.
That is brutal. And Adams actually did way better than expected.
And King goes for another pro league. I mean, these are just really great risks from King. And, well, Fine as well, also taking a small leak here. So a little bit for Draken Adamus, but mostly all good on the side of King and Fine. And Fine actually going for a Brute Resend here. He will maybe get to double Brute if he pushes. And he does push after checking it, so good on him. I think Drac and Adamas maybe are looking for a little bit of a save of their own now, just because when like if that kind of early king damage happens, you kind of want to start holding some pressure if you weren't ahead, because if you just keep sending, they're gonna start holding pressure back on you again, and you're at risk of getting one shot. So
Yeah.
double brute here, pretty rough for the cat, especially now that the Zerker doesn't tank at all.
Yeah, that cat is dying way too fast. That's very little value gained from that unit.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason like the positioning made sense for 6 where you want the Zerker to live last, but on 7 obviously the Zerker would be better as a brute tank. So that's a pretty big leak here. But it does also buy time for the Scent for Drac and Adamas, so we'll see what they choose to go for.
At this stage, they
Could
really
just
need
be
to make
pack
something
leader.
work, right? Because they're feeding a ton of gold here.
Yeah, and Drac they'll opt for a split send. I mean, it makes sense. Fine is really good here, but if he commits more to wave 8, then he's not looking so good on 9. If he goes for something like Mudman somehow here, like selling a Howler perhaps, and then he'll have the gate for next, that could be a really good call, but he has to keep in mind that King is getting a pack leader here, right? So what kind of decision do you make? He just goes for the gate here, so I kind of like that.
That's pretty great, honestly. The gate is not terrible on 8. Meanwhile, Kingdance, who is getting the send, did get to the banana bunk here, which is a
Well-
fantastic unit on wave 8.
And the pack leader just helps out the bunk here. Not, fully, especially if he doesn't kill his back, but
Yeah.
it did help the bunk.
Oh, he leaks it on 47 HP.
It's just not a good day for the players today. Everyone penny leaking everything, so that's a pretty good economic advantage for Adamas. Obviously not the same as the king damage they got, but Drac is going straight 10 after he saw that gate ad, so Drac probably not going to be ahead in this game. It's going to be more on Adamas, I think, considering Drac is going for a long save with Cartel early. It's not like he's going to be behind because he's quite pushed while doing the save, but it's not really that carry position spot for him.
Alright, there's another brute send coming out here from Fine. He will only be able to add one robo, though, and with the boom tree, Adams is going to be completely fine. Oh, he doesn't even add the robo.
Perhaps he forgot.
Or he just realised. I mean, did he already see the treant?
Yeah, maybe he realized that it would just be a bolt and he messed up. But I would think he would have gone king ups if he thought that.
A
And it hits
shaman on
shaman.
10. Okay.
That's kind of bold. It does assume that you'll get the boss to the king here, which may be the case. I'm not sure what King's Gold looks like, but he does get out the Haven.
Adams is just
So
income sending into
yeah,
Kingdance. I
I
don't
mean,
know about that one, Chief.
I guess he feels that Shaman. I think it's okay because King will probably hold this end, but
I mean, do you
I
do
can
you
see
really think
Shaman just
King is
being the
holding against
most.
like a mole hermit or something? His build looks
Maybe.
pretty
Yeah,
bad.
it's not guaranteed, yeah. Um I think the shaman kind of makes sense in the sense that you're getting the max gold through because they're never going to kill the boss with that kind of build.
Yeah.
And then obviously the shaman going through is just a lot of gold
This
denied.
granddaddy with the shaman buff is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Look at it go. Holy, that's some attack speed. It's now out of range. The shaman's having to buff itself.
Poor guy.
I've never seen that before.
It's an interesting split with the gate. It just ended up that way, but let's see. I mean, King has some units in the middle, but I don't think he will cover, so
Yeah.
there will be some King damage here. So a bit
I just feel like if
unorthodox to
there was
see.
a mole hermit coming out there, this would be some serious king damage.
Yeah, yeah,
Actually, the
it
Kingsguard
definitely could
King
have
just
worked.
murders the boss. Maybe, never mind.
Yeah. But I think all in all, yeah, things were that outcome was pretty good after Wave 6 for Adamas. And he goes Pawn Shop, so he's got some pretty good targets. Like he has the Starcaller aura that he probably wants to get the cat out of. So he has the Slime Siren, the Avenger, the tree to play with. So he
Hmm.
might just keep this role for a long time. And King and Fine are going for a very aggressive 12 play, it looks like, with the counterattack. King probably not going to leak because he has a Haven, but Fine maybe could pro leak to the Scannonier. We'll see.
He would love to, honestly. Like, if this Pota dies quickly, then it could be Pro League territory.
Yeah,
And
and I
she
do
will
think the
go
Bota
down.
is going down.
Yeah.
So let's see. I mean, the gate creeps have to run quite a distance here. I think
Yeah.
this may not be a pro league so much as a big league, but
Yeah. He's killed half the wave.
yeah, half the wave and change.
One more.
Definitely making it obvious what their plan is.
Hmm.
We'll
Yeah.
see what the response is, because obviously he does get the counterattack value, which is important. Basically, you have all out for wave 12 at
Hmm.
this point. Will be income king for Adamas and Drac, and he does have the boom trees already. Like he's set up in a way which he could hold 12 fairly comfortably, but it's
Oh,
actually
they
not even gonna.
continue
Wow.
saving. Okay.
So they have their
Wave
eyes.
13 or even 14?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, if with this income king, they could go longer. But Adamas is he has the luxury of building whatever he wants, kind of,
Yeah.
with the pawn shop. Like he can't really build bad units, although he is building a slime siren, which is not the greatest here.
They also have like a pretty much fully upgraded king. So when this send comes from finding Kingdans, it needs to get some work done.
Yeah.
Drakir and Adam's both pretty close to value still.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. I mean, Drac not the greatest role, but he does have the catapult, so it is
Alright,
just gonna be a 13 play.
wave 13. We've got Ghost Knight coming out from Kingdans. We've got Ogre coming out from Fine. Drakir and Adam's, what are your answers here? Oh, Big
Yeah,
Catapult is certainly one answer.
it's not a bad one. The double GK does, help against the catapult.
And Adam's re-rolled into the Sovereign. So, I mean, this is why redraw is so good in the hands of someone like Adams, because he's just so skillful. He can press the button once and pay, what is it, like 3 gold, and just get the
Yeah.
perfect unit for the send.
He's actually not pressed his reroll since like wave, I don't know, whenever he like early, he's had this exact role for a long time.
Oh, he's just a beast.
And why wouldn't he keep it? Like, it's got everything. And
Alright.
Fine pinging the Avenger, realizing, oh my god, where did that
What
come
have I
from?
done?
Yeah, the Ogre doesn't look quite as good now, and the
The
Avenger
Needler still
is...
looks pretty good, though.
Yeah, may still be able to get at least the Needler through.
And Drakeer's
And
leaking quite a lot,
yeah,
117% there. One more Starcaller spell, but that's not enough. Needler makes it through from a Dam's lane as well. They will
yeah.
survive this, but again, Offmer, it's a lot of gold.
I wonder if your best play now is just some sort of Sui play from Fine to break Adamas.
Their values are both so high, like they have 600 more value
Yeah,
each.
we'll see. I mean, doesn't look like Fine and King are pushing that hard, so they may have a plan to go longer than 15, but we'll see what how that goes down because 16 Adam is really, really strong as well. But it looks like they also kind of want to skip looking at their values.
Yeah, Drakir is way over value. He still has 100 gold left in the tank as well.
Yeah,
Adam's similar. Now, Fine and Kingdan's, they're actually both behind on value
yeah.
already, and they can't afford to shift, so this could get a bit interesting.
I think this will be about wave 16. The question is, I mean, it would be kind of a crazy play, but like fine pushing for 16.
Yeah.
Or you can just play to Income King there and try and live.
Uh,
And then maybe after that, Fine can look for a Sui angle. But um, let's see, I guess. I mean, the values are not going to be good. Adamas did push quite hard, and I think he knows his build is really broken on 16.
Adam's has
And
already
he's,
started digging, so he's found
yeah, he
maybe a
has King Claw.
Hades.
Yeah, Hades, or just the Pota for this wave and sell it next wave
Yeah,
could
sure.
also be an option.
And he has the pawn
If
shop,
he's
right?
scared,
So it
yeah.
makes him a lot more flexible.
Yeah, and he will go for the Poto just for this wave. He may even keep it around. It is obviously a lot of gold to keep on dropping your best units. So
Yeah.
King has long since surpassed 4 violets.
Holy. It's
Um,
the quintuple violet.
yeah, and Fine
Right.
went for the double Azira here, so he's kind of dead on 16, went all in for a 15 possible hold.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Do King and Fine want to go full here, or are they going to go Income King?
It's a tough call. They do go full, it looks like. So we've got
Yeah.
Bears coming out from Fine. We've got GK coming out from Kingdoms. Let's see what their options are. Adams is digging. He's found Arcter.
Yeah,
Pretty good answer, honestly.
that's not a bad answer.
Yeah, the best possible tank for the wave. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. And there's no Needler this time around. Fine opting for the bears to try and counter the boom trees.
Adams has this.
And
Sorry, Drakir has the same answer. Triple Arcter in his lane as well.
yeah. And actually the bear is not bad against the Arctear
True.
AoE. So we'll see here. King is trying to tack on a few King spells. Didn't quite get any to go through.
But Fine and
But
Kingdoms have received even bigger sends in their own lanes, though. And
yeah.
Fine's first Azeria is already down, his second one joins it very soon after. This should be a pretty decent leak, at least on Fine's lane. Kingdans, how are you
Yeah,
doing? I mean,
not bad,
not bad, but not good
still a
enough.
leak.
That's 83 for Drakir,
But
61 for King, 82 for Fine, but Adam's coming in clutch with this huge redraw abusing hold. Now,
he's got a few units left here and there.
will Slot Machine survive this? It's close.
Yeah, it looks like they're okay with the Kingsguard on 16.
Kingsguard
The
OP.
question is, what do you do now? Because Drak is not pushing, Adams is pushing, so a Sui play is not likely to work.
Yeah.
They're kind of prepared for that
Adams
contingency.
is pushing quite heavily, actually.
Yeah, they may be thinking about playing for 18 because King looks much better on 19. But it's hard to say. I mean,
Well, Fine and Kingdan's currently... No, you don't want to egg King. He's hovering. I was going to say currently it looks like they're playing to bait an 18 cent because they're both shifting a ton of gold, but actually King starts
Yeah,
spending and Fine is full spent as well. So
yeah. I mean, you could play. Hmm, it's hard to say. Like they're they're maybe playing just to hold 18 with a skip.
mhm.
Um, we'll see. No, they're doing this. Okay, I kind of like this more, where like finds builds on 17, then pushes for 19. Obviously, it doesn't work if they descend, but
Yeah, and they are getting
so
sent.
yeah. Well, that sucks.
Oh,
But I do like this from Draconodamus. Like their builds are just much better on 18, and
Drakir did a similar
uh,
play, by the way. So he started pushing, I believe, during wave 17. He nearly caught up to Adams in workers.
yeah, I think Adamas and Drac maybe didn't know what the best play was. So Drac kind of went for a conservative approach, which was like, Fine is dead, probably needs to Sui, I won't push into him. But then they realized, oh, maybe Fine is actually playing to hold 18, and then I need to push a bit to kill
Yeah,
him. Because double tank send versus Aziri is very important. And that looks like exactly what Drac pushed for. Barely gonna get Kraken Ram.
yeah. I mean, it almost doesn't matter, right? Because Fine
Well,
has
yeah,
full Sui pushed, but yeah, it's a nice play there from Drakir. The double
yeah.
tanks end would have been an absolute menace even if Fine was building to hold. So
I
Fine
don't.
should be leaking really heavily. His Azirias are folding now under the pressure. That's going to be a huge leak from him. How is King doing though with all of
Yeah, I
those
don't know about
wirelets?
the send versus King. It doesn't seem great, but
Yeah,
looks like it is more than enough to get the job done. The
yeah. I mean,
violets were
even if
not quite
King was
enough.
able to hold, there's no way he's ready for round two.
Yeah. So will be the first game here, I think. So
Yeah, King baby
well
leaks,
done.
but Fine's leak is more than enough to kill them twice over, I think.
Yeah.
And there we have it. Game number one goes in favour of
Yeah.
respectable gamers, so Drakir and Adams, proving why redraw is so strong in the current meta.
Yeah, and then they had the pawn shop, whereas Fine
Yeah,
and King had the counterattack because they were trying to go for a play after they were behind. So doesn't help in the late game when your opponents have that flexibility.
hmm and it's a really like classic pairing, right? The chaos or at least chaos adjacent mastermind plus pawn shop just gives you insane flexibility. You just
Yeah.
build the good unit every wave, and then when the wave you need to hold changes because you're expecting a send on 16, for example, you press the button a couple of times, you hit Arctear like literally the perfect unit, you hold the 700 send, you even cover some of your teammates' leaks,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the game really slips out of control for your opponents. So nicely piloted there by Adams.
Indeed, indeed. And
And that's a quick 1-0 Offmer. So yeah, I mean it is a best of three. Let's not count out King and Fine just yet.
yeah.
But they're going to have to shape up a little bit here in game number two. What do you think they need to kind of change really with their play here?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that game, it was not like huge mistakes. I think Drek just kind of made a great one and kind of completely took Fine out of the game. I don't know if there was like a big individual mistake for any of them. Perhaps King overpushed a bit on after wave six. Like he was 10 workers and then pushed for uh 12,
Hmm.
or pushed to 12 after like getting a fiend on six and pro leaking. And then Adamas just had a very easy pack angle on eight, right? And that gave him a lot of gold. And then his build kind of soared from there. So perhaps,
Yeah. Fine is flabbergasted, it seems, by the decision for them to send on 18. He's saying,
yeah,
did you predict I would sui?" Because he finds it a bit
yeah,
unreal that they sent on 18 when he had three Azirias, but that's the way
yeah.
it works.
Yeah, I mean, I think from Adams and Drek's perspective, their one way of losing the game is that somehow the game comes down to a 19 race and King
Mm.
has the best board, which was possible because that's kind of what could happen with
Yeah,
Fine
yeah.
suing into Adamas.
hmm
And Adamas can't really sue into King.
hmm
So making a big push for 18 where Fine is decently strong with three Azirias, but also since he's bottom power score, it's unlikely for him to hold.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we're about to find out if Slot Machine are able to step up their game here in game number 2.
Wow.
Let's see, can they level the score?
Lock in random Potomask.
What a
That's
beast.
it's impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a King Dan's play for sure. And
Um,
Adams, who hasn't had enough of Chaos Light, decides to go with Chaos Full Fat this time around.
yeah, his options aren't amazing. Probably just the skeleton, but it's a little tricky because if you get the mask again, then you can't. I think you would have to end up selling it. So
Yeah,
we'll see what he goes for. Probably just gonna gamble not getting a snail and then hopefully get a cheaper tier one.
yeah. We have seen quite a few cheeky Wave 1 snails so far this Nova Cup, though, and it would really ruin Adam's day, I think, with the skeleton opener.
Yeah, the thing is with Kingsguard, you're incentivized to not do it.
Yeah, true.
We'll see if he feels like it. But so Fine's got a pretty nice roll with the Archer Phoenix combo, the classic. Doesn't have the Tempest, just has the APS, but you can't have everything these days.
Oh, and King Dan's even has Daphne in
Yeah,
his role.
Daphne, yeah, Mudman, great tank. I mean, his role is pretty nice.
It's really nice. It's really nice for like basically every wave in the game. Actually, I can't really think of one wave where he's particularly vulnerable. Maybe 9,
Yeah,
but even then
maybe
he has
nine,
hardened
but just the
Mudman. You know?
Mudman.
Yeah,
Or like Aziria, maybe. So
that's
there's ways around everything for him.
that's not a bad role there for King.
Yeah, not too shabby.
All right, skeletons making the wave nice and long, as is their wont.
And he has the buzz if he wants to add a tier one. He may just opt to take the leak as well. Drac himself has a pretty nice roll with the Nightmare, like Nightmare Oath into Pilgrim for 5. That can be a solid combo to hold there. And Nightmare Oath, we all know, is a really, really strong opener. So
Yeah. And
King
Fine
ups
opts
here.
for the King up over the Snail, so would have leaked Adams, but again, as you said, actually, with Kingsguard you are more
Yeah.
rewarded for upgrading the King than you would normally be.
Yeah, it can be a mind game either way, right? If they add the tier one, then the king up looks really good.
Yep.
They don't, then it looks slightly worse. But with Kingsword, I think this kind of gamble makes more sense.
Yeah, like the risk reward ratio is much more heavily on the side of King upgrade.
Yeah, for sure. So 6 workers apiece for Fine and King. Makes sense. They have the Garg, they have the Poda. But Adamas here actually completely changed plans and realized I'll just play Nightmare Oath as well instead of going for the Scallywag. It's an interesting choice to be sure.
Now, there was
It
a
does feel
full
like he's just
send.
playing. Yeah, Fine is confused. I do think it kind of weird to set up the exact same weak wave as your teammate.
Yeah,
Not that Scallywag is particularly good on 5 either, so we'll see. But I think they could be at big risk of getting big 5 tier. I don't know if it will actually happen.
it's quite a lot of gold loss as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, you are just playing Nightmare Oath down.
Minus
like-
minus 16 gold for fun.
Yeah.
But that's the same amount that King Dan's lost on Wave 1 in the previous game, although he did lose that game, Offmer, so...
Did lose that game.
Maybe if King Dan's had an extra 16 gold, things would have gone differently.
Perhaps. And it won't look like there's going to be a big 5 play here with the snail sense here, but maybe a big 6 could be on the table. Full snails into Fine here, but smart lad that he is ready for that.
Kind of bailed out, actually, because Fine maybe wouldn't have been great against like a couple of brutes on 5.
Yeah, but it looks like he's actually not great. Never mind.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oathbreaker, not quite as good as I thought it would be.
I really didn't expect him to leak here against 3 snails. He's 300 value, man.
Yeah, and the archer tanked very nicely. Like he had good positioning and still not quite enough. Yeah,
Right.
it does look like a big six is what's coming, but Drac is deciding between playing more for five or playing. Oh, he's gonna shift for the big oath, I think.
Okay. I like that.
Because after that snail, he kind of knows it's probably not gonna be Big Sun here. Also, King just rerolled into Doomsday APS.
He really needs to be able to add a small fist as well as the big oath, though, right? Otherwise, the big oath just gets
Yeah.
one shot on wave six.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not exactly sure what his gold will look like. He even did two king ups here, which, he's Kingsguard, it kind of makes sense.
Hmm.
But also probably counted his gold. So it will be a full send try. He is going to get exactly what he needs. No, he's not going Big Oath. He's going Nightmare.
Another nightmare.
Second
Okay.
Nightmare.
All right. He could afford it. He had exactly
He could,
220
yeah.
gold.
So it feels that the second Nightmare is better. I mean, it's better on 7-8, I guess. But I will say he does. He will. I guess he has the cap for 7 and 8 as a tank, but
Yeah. All right. I have a feeling they're both just going to do really well against these sends. We've got 120 Mythium for
Mhm.
both. But I think they're just going to hold or only leak small. Like, the Devilfish is just the perfect tank here for Adams, and Drakia has a ton of DPS, but one of his nightmares dies pretty quickly.
yeah. But he is going to leak two creeps, it looks like.
Fine actually leaks 67% to a
Not so good.
snail, so that's not ideal. Does he kill one more? He doesn't.
Ooh.
Drakir leaks 33,
But
Adams leaks
yeah, I think
26.
they're quite happy with that result.
I
King
think they're happy with
maybe
that, yeah.
also decently happy. Like he is 11 workers now and has a really nice build. So I think
Yeah.
it'll be the onus is a little bit more on him to carry this game at this point.
I think that trade
But
would have been kind of bad enough for Fine and King Dams if Fine had held, but the fact that Fine
yeah,
leaks 67% to a single snail, it actually just made that trade like really favourable for the respectable gamers, and it's showing now in the power score. So Jules is giving
yeah,
them a 60% chance to win the game. They were unfavoured before this wave.
I would worry about a wave 9 play now. Um,
Hmm.
Drac is saving on fine. Don't expect him to. He might have to just income 8, to be fair.
Fine and King
He
Dams
may
have
not go
both
for the
pushed really
longer.
hard, so it looks
Yeah.
like a kind of pack leaders on 8 for the boys.
That does look like their play. I mean, it is the common weak wave of the Nightmare, but King does
And
look like
every other
he's
unit
going
in the
for a
game,
leak.
apparently.
King is actually going for a pro leak of
Yeah.
sorts here.
Fine will hold? Barely.
Yeah. Pretty aggressive plays here, and they will get to that double pack later if they want it. Oops, I mispicked.
King might even get an ogre if he chooses.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure
Nice
if it's
pack.
better, just because of how broken back later is,
Yeah.
but we'll see. And Fine
Oh,
actually opts
Fine
for triple root over
changes.
pack.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, not sure I 100% agree, but maybe he just felt like he wants to get max Mythium in income.
Both of them could have
And
afforded pack and brute, right? They would have had to skip income a
yeah,
little bit, but I think it's worth.
they are quite undervalued, to be fair. We'll see. Drac going for 3 boosted infiltrators to one-shot the pack leader. Let's see if that works.
The pack leader is dying
Ah,
very quickly in Drakir's lane.
yeah.
That's already gone. And
Unfortunately,
the
so are all of his units.
Lord of Death here for Adams is
Yeah,
very strong on 8, of course. Drakir does leak 85%. There's a pause. Huh.
the dev hacks are getting turned on real quick.
Yeah, I guess he's just logging in, turning up the king damage.
Oh,
Adam's
that was
disconnected.
fresh.
Yeah. He was
Ah,
able to build and everything though, right? So it's not going to
yeah,
affect.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think they just don't want him to lose the time during the game. But
yeah. Maybe we can spam some emotes on his lane while we wait.
yeah,
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, we're in sync.
Beautiful.
Can we make a tower? No, we can only have one each, right?
Yeah, we need to log in on two other accounts and spectate the game.
Or we can spam Drakir's face on his own leaks.
Yeah,
This is the kind of high quality content you've joined the Nova Cup stream for, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're
actually.
enjoying the show. This is peak production quality.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess one thing to note is that like they did both kind of overpush Drac and Adamas, even though they kind of know that Waywade is coming.
Yeah.
It's not that they had great answers, but if Drac could have made it so he could get Orchid, like one less worker, he has a full Orchid boost rather than three Infiltrators. And maybe that actually makes a difference. Maybe it doesn't. The pack leader is still insanely strong.
I don't really know to what extent they overpushed so much as
As
their opponents like pushed even more.
to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, because Fine and King Dans were both 500 value on 7 and King Dans pro leagued. So
Yeah.
I think Drakir and Adams would have been okay. Oh, Adams is still not back. Okay. Yeah, I think Drakir and Adams would have been okay if these sends were even, 60 Mythium smaller. Like,
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
that
I mean,
case, Adams
the big
probably
thing
just full
was
holds.
yeah, the pack leader threshold, or well, in this case, the triple brute threshold was pretty important.
Yeah. And this is going to be some pretty serious king damage, actually. So Slot Machine coming back swinging here in game number 2.
Yeah.
Alright, it looks like Adams is finally back, just in time to see his king taking one hell of a beating here on wave 8. Yeah, they're dropping below half health there, so regen
Yeah,
is going to have to start doing some heavy lifting, I think.
for sure.
Jules
And they're
very
kind of
happy
back. They're
with the
back on
play.
value.
That's going to be a tough one for them to come back from, honestly. Like, the economic lead there is really favourable for Fine and King Dance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And they don't even have like a Kingsguard edge because both teams have it. Adama's saving on King. Maybe looking for just the wave 10 cent. He does have the Daphne, but
Yeah, the rest of
can
his build is
maybe
pretty
still get
bad
some
on 10.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. It's only income. I think that's
Yeah.
respectable. We do see the double Daphne coming out from King Dan, so he would have been... Oh, he's even hardening. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now the income send looks really good from Adams.
Yeah. And the problem, I guess, the reason why King feels so safe is he's 100% just going to build Aziria, click Divine Blessing next turn, no matter what, I would imagine. So it will be tricky. Divine targets definitely, everyone has pretty good ones. The Doppels, the Phoenix, the Poda. But Adonis' build is trending more in a direction where he may not want to get the Doppel. He has the Catapult, he has the Elodie, he's got like a lot of diversity in his damage. Drac, on the other hand, is actually pro-leaking to this dino. His Nightmares died in an unfortunate order.
Yeah, that is unfortunate indeed, because he's not on particularly low value.
And he's going for a save here, but it is just going to be income, so... King now on a shutdown, and he will get out the Aziria.
With that Divine Blessing as well. So
Yeah,
Aziria,
and Drac, Dark Ritual.
Aziria kind of historically one of the best units in the whole game for Divine Blessing. It's still very good, but I think with the changes to how her heal works with max HP, it's a little bit less strong than it used to be.
Yeah. And Adamas, well, He's not revealing who it's going on, but I mean, the game now is definitely warped by the Phoenix and Azeria. Like,
Yeah.
for King and Fine, you really want to play around 15, 13, 15, but 13 may be too soon. Whereas if you're Drac and Adamas, you probably want to play around 14 pretty heavily.
Yeah, I mean, they just have this such huge power spike now with the Divine Blessing. Like, that spell is worth so much, honestly.
Oh, for sure. So Drac does have the egg. That may be his plan here with his no worker push. So yeah, here's the egg. The problem with his egg is King is literally 27 workers, so he may feel that he can just send into Drac anyways.
Yeah.
Or he may even go income King from 13 and just try and scale.
Or he may not even feel like he needs to address it at all because they're so far
Yeah.
ahead that they can just, like, if they were already planning to go 15, they don't need to
Yeah.
stop doing that either.
It's totally fair as well. Okay. I thought his double might have a chance of dying first, but
Yeah.
no worries there. Fine, pushing a little extra now that he saw the egg, so not going to see a send here, and it is the Divine Catapult here for Adamas. This Chaos build is kind of coming together. We have the White Man getting set up, some late game threats here. But honestly, King's build might just be better.
Yeah, I really like King's build. Like, the APS just as an extra power boost on these already high DPS units. The Divine Blessing Azeria, like, very, very strong tank, and also damage.
Yeah. So let's see here. I mean, value-wise, Fine and King kind of need a send. We'll see if they feel the same way.
Yeah, I think they can get away with it. Like, the Divine Blessing honestly is worth, like, 300 gold in both of their lanes right now. But Drakir and Adams, they are sending here, so Fine King Dans will be put to the test.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, they're not huge sends. Obviously, Drac, not very high workers, but Fine's build is not that good on this wave. It's, like, solid, because he has the big Phoenix, but low value with Elite Arch can
Yeah,
often
I mean, his
lead to
tank
bad
value is
results.
basically all perfect on this wave, right? He has a ton
True,
of,
true.
like, Green Devils, and Phoenix, if it smurfs, if it tanks well, Phoenix is deadly on any wave, 14 or no.
Yeah. So no Harden from King here. His Doomsday will probably off-tank as well. Oh, his Azure is taking nothing because of the
Oh,
APS.
that's bad, yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, and now his Doomsday is going to absolutely run it down.
Would have been nice if it tanked, but not
Yeah.
quite like that.
Well,
But
that's one way to
Fine
make a Divine
is-
Blessing Azeria look bad.
Fine is fine.
Fine is giga fine.
Yeah.
There's
That's
still
smaller
some
than-
creeps.
Or,
Oh, he absolutely
Absolutely right.
obliterated his guy.
but pretty small leaks, even considering that they made such, or King made a big mistake,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Well, the really
King's
deadly thing
worked
is
out.
that Fine and King saved past this, and here comes
Yeah.
their counter-attack now off on wave 15.
yeah,
So we've got
That'll be
Kraken
tricky.
Shaman coming out from King, we've got Shaman Ghost Knight from Fine. Drakir and Adams both going to be fairly decently undervalued here.
yeah, things do get trickier here. Drac.
Oh, and
trying to
Adams
go
hardened
with-
last wave as well.
Ooh, that's rough.
That's bad,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to get the Slime Siren value out. He might. He has quite a bit of tank value for it. And the Skybot, maybe it can do something disgusting. We'll never know.
Hmm.
But it will take a while to reach the wave, as it is.
Yeah, getting through that Ghost Knight is going to be quite tricky for his almost entirely impact damage build.
Yeah, the Kraken eats up all the shurikens.
This thing
so-
is doing some damage though. We might have to bring up the DPS
Yeah.
meters for that one.
It's It's on 6,000
Yeah, it's,
and quickly reaching bigger numbers.
yeah,
I mean, that is a pretty
it's not
comfortable.
bad.
Wait, is he? It doesn't win 1v2, does it?
No, it can't win. Not
Okay.
against a Shaman as well. Maybe if it was just the boss.
I mean, 1700 damage, not bad.
Yeah.
So the Divine Blessing definitely saving them a little bit here. They are still going to take some king damage, obviously, but they should be alive.
They are alive for sure. I just worry, Offma, when you're in the position that Drakir and Adams are in right now, which is quite heavily behind,
Yeah.
like, good is just not enough, right? You need something kind of borderline miraculous to turn the tides of the game
Yeah.
back in your favour. And almost holding isn't it. Like, if Adam's full holds there, maybe there's a different story to be told,
Yeah.
but just barely leaking is not quite good enough. And he's lost his Divine Blessing as well.
Yeah. King and Fine are quite pushed for this probably 16 play, looks like.
I don't think it's going to be 16.
It may not. Jack does look decent there.
Well, it's 16 now, and they haven't sent, so...
Ah, yes. Excellent, excellent point. Yes. Thank you. That does clear things up. It is just going to be the 17 send. King's maybe one of his best waves, even
Yeah,
ignoring his Azaria now. He just has APS Doomsday, Hardened Golems.
yeah, he's unleakable. King actually
Not on
leaking
16.
no send, so 50 gold shot down, a bit more
I knew
burst in the
16
mid.
was risky. But here we go. Income from Adamas. Probably correctly realizing that King could hold almost everything here.
Yeah.
Actually, his value is quite low, to be fair, but...
Yeah, I mean, we just saw him leak no send. But
Yeah, let's
his
see how this
build is
goes.
essentially tailor-made for wave 17, right?
Adamas does have a quite good units for this wave, I will say. Full white main circle, Trebuchet. Double Centaur versus Drac is pretty nice. He's full melee units, so
Yeah.
that Centaur should get max value.
Adams honestly has a chance to hold here, so I'll keep an eye on his lane.
Yeah, I think he may be the best bet.
With that white main
He's getting
hardened
a-
golem.
Getting a smaller send as well, so...
Yeah. It's honestly a big shame that he lost the Divine Blessing, because this Trebuchet
Yeah.
would be doing insane work.
Looks like it may not be enough.
Fine is leaking pretty big over there. Drakir
Well-
is doing the same, but Adams,
What a beast.
yeah, absolute machine. This is going to keep them in the game again, I think.
Yeah. Obviously, it looks like King and Fine are pushing for 19 now. And that may be where they try and finish things off. You probably don't... I mean, King realistically can hold everything, but 19 is where his tank value is the best with the golems, so...
Hmm.
On the other hand, Drac and Adamas are going for some sort of attempt at overbuilding here. Adamas did just get a lot of gold from holding a full send.
Yeah, yeah.
If he
did.
rolls something really good for next, maybe something can happen.
He also income sent into Kingdan, so he didn't feed too much gold there.
Yeah.
Plus, they got a ton of gold from Fine's leak as well.
Pretty good trade for them on 17. But for 19, the Trebuchet's not going to be quite as good, but he does have already like very good 19 units.
Mhm.
So it even goes for a prep mask here, so
What does he roll?
Oh
He's
my
got
God.
Gun and Mudman. Okay.
what a beast.
That is what you want.
And here come the full sets.
Yeah.
Fine, starting with a poo-poo.
I mean, he knows what he wants.
A bit unusual, perhaps, but here comes the double GK. Double GK, I mean, solid against a lot of the tanks, that's for sure, and the Trebuchet, but if he were to get something like the Arc upgraded here, that GK could be paper,
Yeah.
and he does get the upgraded Arc.
Now, Drakir and Adams, they
And
do know what's up. They have just clicked the auto-send button
yeah,
for this wave, desperately trying to survive. King is full hardened. He pushed a ton of workers for this send.
yeah.
But I don't think we need to watch Fine and King Downs. They're going to be okay against the income sends. The real story here is going to be Drakir and Adams lanes. And the Chaos Abuser has found Mudman. Will it be enough?
We shall see. I mean, he even has enough gold to like stim this vet if he wants.
He does, yeah.
And he
Okay.
does.
I mean, his power is absolutely maximised for this one wave. Will
There's
it be
two
enough?
hermits now.
Drakir, I feel, is just going to leak full, so we don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to watch over there. In fact, yeah, we can kind of already see him starting to get a little bit overwhelmed. Adams, though, his tank line
Thing
is
is,
down. He's
He
killing
needs
a
to hold
lot.
and cover.
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? He might do okay for himself, but is he ever ready for Drakir's round 2? Drakir?
Not even ready.
67%.
Well,
Adams? It's not
I don't
quite
think so.
enough. A valiant effort there from
Yeah,
Adams,
for
but
sure.
not quite enough. And this, I'm pretty sure, is enough to kill them, even through Kingsguard, right?
I think so. Wave 19 is just that strong. So,
Oh, there we
yeah,
have it.
I mean, well played to them.
Slot Machine do manage to even out the score here in game number 2, so we're at a 1-1 scoreline. We have Kingsguard and Lock-In being used there by Slot Machine. So Kingsguard does seem quite highly contested here, Offmo. Both teams
Yeah.
decided to pick it up here in game number 2. One team can't choose it again, though, so Drakir and
Yeah,
Adams...
that's definitely a disadvantage
Yeah.
for the next game.
It's a very strong mastermind, especially in tournament mode, I feel. So, Drakir and Adams, they can play Kingsguard here in the final game of the series. But King Downs and Fine, they cannot. We'll have to see if that's going to come back to bite them.
Yeah. I mean, it's not impossible to win against Kingsguard without it, as
Yeah, true.
you know, Draken and Dom has proved in the first game. So we'll see what Fine and King go for, because I don't really know what mastermind they're gonna pick. They went for like a Fiesta Cartel. I think they tried something like Cartel Redraw as well before, but I don't know.
And meanwhile, in other exciting news, it looks like Fake One and X Crash are also tied 1-1 in their
Ooh.
series. So things are pretty interesting here in the semi-finals of Nova Cup. We've got
Yeah.
both sides of the semi-finals currently sat at 1-1. Both semi-finals about to play the deciding game 3. But it's
Put it
really
this
cool.
way.
Like the
Yeah.
games are all super close right now.
People are definitely gonna get their drops this month.
Alright, we should be able to get game number 3 on the way fairly soon. It looks like the players are not hanging about here.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we've seen both of these teams more than capable of doing what it takes to win a game. The real question is going to be who will be able to take the series. Is
Yeah.
one team going to come out ahead, or is this going to be a really hard-fought battle? Well, Offma, we're about to find out, because game number 3 is here. This one for all the marbles. Winner makes
Yeah.
it through to the finals, loser is out of the tournament. So, who's it going to be?
I really like that both teams have been great at playing aggressively when ahead. Like, there's no, like, they are sometimes, you know, there's the, like, just sit there, overbuild, and the enemies lose the game. But so far, we've just seen a lot of aggressive pushing to force waves you want. Chaos for Adamas. Yeah, it's going to be Fiesta Cartel.
Okay,
I wonder,
interesting.
is Drac going to go Kingsguard, or because Kingsguard is a great kind of soft counter to Fiesta Cartel.
Mhm.
Obviously, you could play Fiesta Cartel in a way where it's like purely an economical thing and not a
Yeah,
king damage thing.
there is
but
the Kingsguard.
yeah, I mean, he's got an amazing magician role. Gate guard, looters,
Yeah,
has the disciple avenger.
Luther's famously strong with magician.
Of course.
Oh, and look
Let's
at
see what he
this,
goes
by
for.
the way. Adam's absolutely sniffing out his opponent.
Wow,
Okay,
got him.
I guess they've done their research against these guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, it's a risk for sure because you're Kingsguard,
Hmm.
but so Drac actually opts for the Poda opener here over some sort of gate guard shenanigans. So we'll
He didn't even pick
see.
the gate guard, actually.
Yeah, he's got a pretty tricky early game to play, I would think,
Hmm.
but see how he manages. King obviously receiving the snail, not great for his outlook.
Hmm.
Imagine if they got double snail, that would have been pretty disastrous.
Yeah, right. Oh, King Dan's leaked 75%. It's another one of those where, like, sure, he's Fiesta, but that's such a big leak. It's just not worth it, right?
Yeah, he's plus 8 gold and he's about to lose, what, 18?
Yeah. So minus 10 on
And
wave 1, not too shabby.
yeah, and Adamas will be happy with the plus, what is that, plus 9?
Plus 9, yeah. Yeah, okay, respectable gamers off to a strong start. Jules, however, seems really in favour of Slot Machine. I have no idea how that could be.
I guess they have more workers. And yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's pretty much it. They were playing aggressive opener. They're playing 5 worker openers, and I mean Adama's got to play 5 worker opener with the extra gold, but sadly Drakir is still on 4.
oh, and King Dan's is getting away with murder here on wave 2 because there's
Wow.
no second snail
He
forthcoming.
didn't build.
He didn't build, he went 6 workers.
Couldn't build, I guess is a better way of phrasing it.
Yeah, he leaked 67% to no send.
I mean, I don't even know if that's that good, but he did leak Drak here with that double snail. I don't think Drak was thinking at all that King would try it.
Yeah, I don't think Drac cares too much when he sees King
Yeah.
Dan's leaking 67%. And the other thing is, like, Adam's, he kind of let King get away with murder here with no snail resend, but he could potentially send a Fiend. Oh, actually, he's just shy. One Mythium short of that. Fiend or even
A Robo
Brute.
will do. And this Robo may just lock on to the Atom here, and that would be wraps for him.
Yeah.
Adamas rolled some very, very bad units.
Oh, we have another pause here. It looks like Adam's struggling. Can only imagine that his laptop overheating in this disgusting summer heat.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, he's gonna have an interesting decision to make here, because his units to build are Seedling, Harpy, Banker, and he started Gun. So, looks like he's looking for a Pixie in the split, maybe?
Yeah,
So we'll see how that positioning is. It looks solid to me, but... And let's also check in with how King does against his son, because... Yeah, I mean, Robo is not easy, and it looks like his
oh,
Atom's
Robo
dead.
straight on the Atom. This is disaster territory now for King Dans. I mean, sure, he got the Shroom, but it just didn't do its job whatsoever.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Adama's holding the 60 cent and killing a Pixie and farming King for 1,000,000 gold, so...
Yeah. This game is going
He's in a great
very
spot.
well for respectable gamers so far.
Yeah.
It's only
Obviously,
wave 3.
Fine is in a good spot himself. Like, he's got some pretty nice units to play around here, but...
Mhm.
And he's protected their king through all of this, so...
Yeah, he's actually pulling ahead in terms of power score. So Fine is kind of ignoring what's going on in King Dan's lane and just scaling himself quite nicely, it seems.
Yeah. And King may be in trouble again. There is another Robo headed his way.
Yeah, and it looks like the Robo's going to do exactly what it did on wave 3 and just obliterate the Atom once again. And once that goes down, that's all of King's DPS, really. Ah, it goes right this time.
Yeah. The melee, he added some chains high on the right, so realized what was his issue. So there's that at least, but it does still look like he's going for a bit of a leak.
Yeah, the Atom is performing way better this time around, but still 63%. These Fiesta leaks from King Dan's are pretty extreme, I have to say.
Yeah, they're not quite as good as his other Fiesta game, but obviously his opener is much, much worse.
Yeah.
But again, fine, keeping their king safe.
Yeah.
And he's on to 9 workers now too. Everybody there besides Drac, who is...
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Drakir miles behind. Oh no, he does go up to 9 workers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say,
Oh,
a mere 8. Not quite cutting the
Adamas,
mustard.
again, with a tricky roll here. He's offered 3 cheap range units, which is not what you want to see with Gun.
Hmm.
But the Oathbreaker into Big Oathbreaker may be all he needs. King again playing super undervalue.
Yeah.
Kind of the theme of this game so far.
I mean, at some point he just has no choice, right? The only way for him to get back into the game after leaking so much is if he can keep a high worker count.
Yeah.
So he has to play risky now.
And this time it pays off. Fine, just push the worker to no send.
Okay.
Which will be correct considering he's getting income tier.
He can still afford the Hellraiser if he wants to, or...
Yeah, double Skelly is an option. Another Gate Guard, sell Master Slime. There are plenty of good options here. Goes with the slime in the front.
Hmm.
Perhaps a little risky, but
I guess he's just really not expecting a full send.
yeah, I mean, it should tank somewhat. Not the whole everything, but I would imagine, yeah, it would get hit by the whole split here, I think.
Yeah, it does.
Obviously not,
Ooh,
would
does
not
just,
get full mana.
Just barely got mana, actually.
Yeah.
And that's to a Dino send.
And King here got the Canopy, but is still getting
Ooh.
overrun here. 4 creeps, one more than he wanted, I would imagine.
Adams is absolutely punishing King this game.
Yeah. He is also punishing his own income total, but
Well, true.
it is definitely a lot of gold he's earned.
Can we see exactly how much?
Well,
this one.
it looks like
54
200,
gold came
yeah,
from leaks.
yeah.
Okay, not too shabby.
Yeah. And fine, prepping the Hellraiser for his weak wave 8. King Dan's prepping nothing for his weak wave 8.
Yeah.
He will have the bunk, but
Will
yeah,
he?
we've seen how that can go. Well, maybe not.
He might need to
Drac.
sell something for the bunk.
Yeah, Drek got out his Avenger here, which was his plan for wave 7. And yeah, will Adamas try him? I mean, after seeing value like that, you're very tempted to.
Yeah.
Or even just Cannoneer. But if you get packed, I mean,
Mole is already looking quite appealing into what King Dance has on the board, and if he does go
Yes,
for
a
a bunk,
pack
Mole
leader.
would be very good.
first going Brutes. Okay.
Okay.
So he could sell for the bunk, which I can't imagine he would not do.
Yeah, here comes the banana bunk. Will it be enough?
I will go with no, but
Hmm.
I'll let the readers decide for themselves.
Yeah, double brute pretty good against this.
Triple Brute even better.
Ah, yeah. Here comes the third.
And Fine, obviously, going to be great against the no-send, but Draft maybe realizing that Fine is playing a cover and was like, I'll just save until 10.
Yeah. And Fine does not look good on wave 10 whatsoever. Meanwhile, King Dance, he's going to be losing even more gold here on wave 8. Doesn't look too
Yeah.
fantastic on 10 either.
And he's not going to get... Oh,
97% leak here for King Dance. That is crushing.
yeah, that's not what you want to see. Got a bit unlucky there. That Cobra has 20 HP, 3 of them.
Mhm.
But honestly, with minus 230, I'm not sure what to expect there.
Yeah, this is just a very tough game here for King Dance.
Yeah, maybe the worst one we've seen him play all weekend, but
Yeah.
somehow he's staying in the power score. Adam is, of course, completely snowballing off of the repeated leaks, and he's looking to make one more happen here.
Well, King Dan's adding the 100 gold here, actually adding 2 gate guards. He should be totally fine in that case.
Yeah. Fine, getting out his Firelord here. Gonna be fine against this income sen, I would imagine.
So, despite the fact that King is literally getting knocked from pillar to post here by Adams, Jules is still favouring Slot Machine.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, he does have pretty good income.
He does.
Because he has been so pushed while leaking. And Drac doing his like having a little bit of a tricky early game, couldn't really push too hard off of King, and uh, maybe
Oh, he even leaks this
has,
resend. Oh, he sold one of
yeah,
the gate guards. I didn't see that. Why did he do that?
yeah. Well, that's two workers.
Yeah, I mean, he placed it and then sold it, and as a result, he leaks half the wave.
Yeah. And Adam is going for some more action here, and now Fine getting a test.
That's to his own.
Will pass. I don't know. I mean, he's not very good here, to put it mildly.
No, he really isn't good here, actually, and doesn't really have any better answers to go for either.
Yeah.
Well, the Scallywag is not terrible, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I was about to say, like, King Dan's, the resend there on 9 was one way for him to start getting back into the game, but the fact that he sold the gate guard and leaks half the wave is quite unfortunate. We'll have to see how well Fine does here.
I would imagine he was shifting for Bunk, the gold.
Okay, yeah, that
in
makes
case
sense.
Fine got saved until 10.
That makes sense.
But Fine did end up getting a send, so I think he was just like, yeah, I'll just push then. And Fine actually
Fine is doing
is
extremely
holding,
well
right?
here, yeah?
What a beast.
What a machine. Drakir, meanwhile, he does leak to the Brute and
Got him.
DTs. Just barely.
Yeah, but I mean, this is really good for Fine. I mean,
Oh, will it reach King?
obviously,
No.
Fine is the cartel player, so now he's gonna fall off a bit. Adam is definitely still positioned very nicely in this game.
Yeah. Do you know what's
And-
fascinating, Offmer? Despite the fact that we've seen huge leaks throughout the first 10 waves of the game, neither side has yet to lose any HP on the King. How crazy
Yeah,
is that?
there haven't been a lot of big targeted like together sends. It's been Fine playing a really good job protecting their king, and really not so big leaks from Drac and Adamas at all.
Yeah. Now, King Dan's currently 237 gold lost to leaks. Adams has gained roughly half of that. So,
It's your favorite unit?
yeah, the Nucleus is... I'm a fan. I don't think it's good to build it by itself, though. I don't understand that.
Well, don't worry, he's got one atom.
Ah, okay, I take it back.
We'll see what he cooks with it. Obviously, it's very good with the Magician. And he's got some other units that benefit as well. The Avenger, the Gate Guard. Everyone actually opting for the Magician this game. Fine pushing hard now. Not sure what their plan is, but 13, 14, both are valid options. 13 is a little tricky into Drac. Obviously, he's got the Azir, he's got the Avenger. He's looking very good there.
Yeah.
But
Drakir's feeling
yeah,
a bit
even
under pressure here. He is spending 20 gold on the Orchid, and there is no send coming.
yeah, it is his natural weak wave here, and he has only bad units, so I can totally understand why.
But he's starting to struggle. Like, Drakir's down there at the bottom of the
Yeah.
power score. It seems not even the dev hacks are enough.
Yeah, I think even though Adamas is on top this game, there was a price to pay.
Yeah. I think this is just a real consequence of the leak gold changes, right? Because Drakir is just getting way less gold from the Fiesta players' leaks, and it's through no fault of his own, but it's just the way the sending
and-
setup is working out this game.
The other thing is you're dealing with, because he's leaking every way, it's because he's super duper pushed, right? So you're dealing with that pressure the whole game. And even though King didn't end up going for anything, you still feel the pressure. And Fine opting to prep for 14 here. King does have the Avenger this wave. And, oh, don't worry, he added another little Proton here to pop off with the Nicholas.
Hmm.
So we'll see. I mean, obviously King very undervalued here, but Magician, Avenger, Gate Guard, something good could happen. Not the biggest send of all time.
It should be enough, though, if that Four Eyes can lock onto the Sovereign.
Yeah,
And it
and
does.
it does now. The Gate Guard is getting the summons off. And
Sovereign
we
goes
do have the
down.
Nucleus.
There's still 3 creeps alive. This should be a decent enough
Yeah.
leak here, and quite a lot of leak gold. And another crash there by Adams.
Yeah, he's taking over from Ashton.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we had such a laggy Nova Cup.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but it
More
is.
drops for the viewers.
Yeah, more drops for the viewers, absolutely. Right, so this is quite an interesting play here for Adams to just split send into King Dans. Now, we look at these values and we see it probably would have worked out if they both sent together because Fine played it very risky here.
Yeah,
Super
he
low
didn't
value,
prep
did
the
not upgrade
Phoenix.
the Phoenix. But
Obviously, Drac felt like, okay, he has Phoenix. Like, there's no point in me trying to leak him with this much Mythium. So it's understandable. And I like the split send just because Adamas is the guy that matters in this game for their team, right?
yeah,
So he should do the sends that give him the max gold, and they'll try and survive whatever the combined send will be from Finding King, which maybe, I mean, could be 14, could be 15.
yeah. I'm still
15.
interested in the play though. Is Adams back? I
Maybe.
mean, Drakir hasn't paused yet. Okay, now he has. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say it still does say Adam is Q, so
Yeah, but I'm quite interested.
oh
Ignoring the fact that Drakir didn't send with him, I quite like the play for Adams to just farm a bunch of leak gold here on 13.
yeah, I think it's definitely a solid play.
Because Adams is the carry, right? Like, he's
Yeah,
way out in top on the power score. Drakir's having a rough one, so he just wants to play to enable right now.
yeah, and it's gonna be just a 14 cent drag going for some farming here with
Mhm.
the mimic, but also maybe just what he thinks is the best send.
And
Adam
Adams
is
just
obviously
going
going
for
income
Income
king.
King, which I like.
But yeah, I mean, Shaman Needler does sound pretty scary for Drag's build.
Yeah, yeah.
And Ram Needler also sounds scary.
I think Drakir is going to leak pretty badly here, even with the Magician Sovereign. Adams should do better. He's closer to value. He's got a pretty much full value Magician Circle here on his Disciple.
Yeah. And he's doing a low split so that other units will help him hit the ramp, I think is his plan. And
Oh, the
his gun might die though.
gun! The gun does die.
It's not great, but you know, at least he got some good tanking out of it.
Yeah, Copium.
Copium.
This is going to be a decent leak actually
Yeah.
on Adams. I thought he would do better than this. 150 for Drakir, 115 for
Yeah.
Adams. They
That's
may
some
yet
good
survive
leads.
this.
And look at Fine Go, just saying, who needs Phoenix? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
get a million summons out.
Fine is lower value than Adams was, and he's full holding here. So Adams, you needed to do better here, my friend.
Yeah.
They do live, but Offmer they're all the way down at 40%, and what was a fairly close game is now massively in favour of Team Slot Machine.
Yeah, now the thing is, Fine can just push however much he wants, and King just doesn't have to push at all anymore. And yeah, I mean, I would imagine we're gonna see 17 this game?
17 makes
Or
a lot
even
of
longer.
sense, yeah. 17 makes a lot of sense. Probably from all four players, right?
Yeah, I do see that Draken and Damas are they're reasonably pushed for even a 16 play. Not crazy pushed, but see what they go for. It does seem too soon though.
Alright.
But
Oh,
it is what
actually,
they're going
Dams
for.
and Drakiri looks like they're going for an undercut here on 16. Will it work?
Yeah. I think they undercut. King is going to be pretty much on value or over value. On
Yeah.
value.
King shifted gold
And
there on 15.
and okay, here we go. He's got the plan. He was listening to your
Okay,
cast.
okay.
And there we go. He's got the tank value, and now he's got the DPS, so
He might need to ship this one to not kill the rest of his
yeah.
atoms.
Although he does have third column tanks and the Haven, so maybe it's okay. Fine, getting all the scallywags out, so going for a lot of tank value with his summon build. Does even have those boosted Hellraisers for some actual damage as well. And his Phoenix is tanking perfectly. He is killing his Hellraisers. It's probably not great. Only killed one at least, but the atoms are kind of pumping now.
Yeah, and his Sovereigns are about to pop off as well.
Yeah.
Pack Leader is down. This is pretty good performance
Yeah.
here from King. He still has all of those atoms alive, absolutely chomping through the wave. Holy, let's check the damage meters.
Yeah, they're kind of farming. I mean,
Yeah,
3k damage
3k damage
for
per
90
atom.
gold.
Not too bad.
Not too shabby.
And that was pretty huge there. But I mean, fine held as well, so...
Yeah. It's looking like this may be the end. 2%. I mean, we've seen lower, so
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. I don't think they're gonna survive this. We've got
yeah.
Drakir. He's over 1,000 undervalue. We've got Adams basically in the same boat as well. Neither of them looking great on 17 either.
Yeah. And the sends are pretty big, pretty big.
Yeah, the sends are absolutely huge. We've got nearly 1,200 Mythium here for Adams, 900 for Drakir. Adams getting run over, 170% leak there for him. Drakir not far behind, 138,
Yeah.
and that should wrap things up here in the first semi-final as Team Slot Machine a very well-earned spot in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, well done to them. I mean, pretty crazy game, honestly. And somehow, I mean, even though King looked like he was in some big trouble this game,
Yeah.
was no trouble at all.
No, that was wild, actually. Let's have a quick look at some of King's leaks here. So 35% average, by far the highest average leak in the game. We've got 75 on 1, 67 on 2, 74 on 3. In fact, he leaked orange or red on 7 out of the first 10 waves. And not only won, but stomped the game in the mid to late game. So yeah, I guess Fiesta's still pretty good after all. Like, I was kind
Yeah.
of doubting it, but apparently Fiesta is still in a decent spot.
Maybe if your name starts with K and ends with Ing Dance.
Yeah, but then if you're in that situation, then I think every mastermind is pretty good, right?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think he's definitely showing some chops, though. I mean, he it looks like he hasn't even left the game.
meanwhile, something very interesting in the other semi-finals bracket is the worst polls have achieved victory over X-Crash. So Fake One and Pakistan
Yeah.
will be facing King Dans and Fine here in the grand finals. But guys, I think we should have a quick 10-minute break in between now and the finals kicking off. So don't go anywhere. That's going to be a really exciting one. What do you think about that matchup, Hoffner?
I mean, it's I think we've seen this with like when Fine had Poeted as his teammate. But King Dance definitely adds another element. But we've got 3 pulls in the finals. I think might be the first finals for Fake One and
No, they've been in the finals
Pakistan.
before.
No,
They
they've
have.
played once.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I remember that.
Fake One and Pakistan, they have been performing better and better
Yeah,
over the last few months. They've been threatening the finals a few times. They've been there once, and you know they're here again this month. Maybe it's their time to shine. They've just beaten X Crash.
yeah.
That's no
And
small feat. So
they
fair
also
play.
beat Draken Adamas in the group stage, so
Yeah.
I think that they're in good form. And I think definitely could go their way.
Mhm.
But we'll have to see, right? Best of 5 means more masterminds. You have to show more tricks in your bag, and I will say King Dan seems to have an endless supply of tricks
Yeah,
so far.
absolutely. Well, that's definitely one to look forward to, guys, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in around 10 minutes' time for those grand finals. Until then, goodbye. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Thank you to Nick Tier for keeping us entertained during the break. But Offma, it is time for the grand finals to begin. We have King Dans and Fine, that is Team Slot Machine on one side, and we have the Fake One and Pakistan RQS making up the worst polls on the other. Do you have any predictions for this game?
No, I mean I think it should be close, but if I had to make a guess, I would say Fine and King Dan's 3-1, but I am hoping for 5 games.
I'd love to see 5 games. Do you know, I'm gonna cheer for my boy Elon this time around. Like, King Dans and Fine, they've had their glory. Pakistan Fake One, this is your month. You've heard it here first, guys. The worst polls are gonna take it this month. A
Let's
bold
see.
prediction, in fact.
A bold one for sure.
And I'm just adjusting the scoreboard. So we should have everything ready to get into the game. Are our players ready? It looks like they are. Yeah, one thing I do know for certain, Offmer, is this is going to be an exciting match to watch. We've seen King Dans and Fine a lot already this tournament, so we know their credentials are real. Pakistan and Fake One, they haven't been on the main broadcast yet this month, but the fact that they've made it through here to the grand finals undefeated, I mean, they've dropped a game here and there, but they haven't lost a series, just goes to show that they are playing extremely well this month, and they've faced off some very stiff competition to be here as well. They've beaten X
Yeah.
Crash, they beat Drakira Dams yesterday, like you said, so they've earned their spot. Let's see, are they playing well enough to beat Fine and King Dans? We're about to find out, guys, because game number 1 is here.
Yeah. Kingsguard for Fine. Lock and random for King. Another really good lock and random roll. Chaos Kingsguard for Pakistan and Fake One.
Yeah.
Wonder. Well, we saw a pretty nice Chaos Gun game from Adamas, so see if Pakistan can keep that up. And for Fake One, I mean, he has Flying Force, he has Disciple Seed, he's got plenty of options for what he wants his build to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, we'll be playing Gun Rat.
I'm not a big fan of Pakistan's role at all, but he's playing Chaos, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. He only needed the first unit.
Yeah.
Fake One honestly has some difficult choices because, I mean, you
And he
kind of
can't
want
take
everything.
everything. He
But
goes for Flying
yeah,
Force and... Well, actually, he's basically gone for 2. I don't know how much I like that, honestly, from Fake One, to go for Flying Force plus, like, Disciple Steed shenanigans, because they're... Both of those pairs are, like, your damage pairing, so where's his tank value coming from?
yeah, it may just be tank by committee
Yeah?
with no big tanks in his role, obviously. So
Why tank
we'll see
wave
how it
when
plays
kill
out.
wave fast instead?
Yeah, simple logic.
Mm-hmm.
So Fine is staying low worker so he can go Hunter Rat, presumably, or he disconnected. So we will get that hunt off. I think maybe he was just scouting, like looking at openers, and then he's not getting to 5 workers, so this is just reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Alright, fairly steady early games so far. There's no Fiesta shenanigans. Everybody's on pretty safe openers, honestly.
Yeah.
And just another round of snails coming out. Okay. So maybe call me back by like wave 5 or 6 and the players might decide to start playing some Legion.
Yeah, it's some chill gaming for now. With Kingsguard in the game, everyone's pretty incentivized to get some king ups in. Fake One going for a Fire Archer. I actually know that Fake One is kind of a beast at the Fire Archer opener,
Yeah,
so
true.
definitely knows how to use this unit and position with it.
Hmm.
So Snail camps for everyone, except King did not grant Fake One a king up.
Absolutely piling on the pressure there.
Yeah.
It's interesting
Kinda-
how hotly contested Kingsguard is in this month's Nova Cup. Like,
Yeah.
every team just seems to be picking it whenever they have the choice.
Yeah, it's definitely really, really strong. Lets you make a lot of different mid-game plays than normal. So King will go on to 7 workers. Fine is 6 workers, or he's also 7 workers, sorry. And Fake One, the only one who wasn't able to make it up there. Obviously,
Yeah,
his role is a bit worse, so
adding
has to
the
play a little
steed
conservative.
here, he's going to be completely fine.
Yeah.
I guess he had to respect King's save a little bit. King could have sent 60 here,
Okay.
but
And Fake One goes for a full send against Fine here with the second snail.
yeah, but
The
Fine
gun is-
did not hunt his rat, so he should
Yeah.
be okay.
But yeah, even without the gun off tanking, looks
Yeah.
like he's fine. Maybe a 60 send is when he would have actually been in trouble. But 8 workers now for Fine and King.
I do think if Fine had hunted his pack rat there, he would have leaked pretty badly.
Yeah, if he only had 3 looters in his lane,
Yeah.
it probably would not have gone so well.
So I can see the play there from Fake One. Just test him.
Yeah,
Keep him
just
honest.
make sure he's not doing something crazy.
Yeah.
But maybe a wave 6 coming up against Pakistan because Fine's staving a bit, and so is King. But King looks like a wave 7 play would be really good so far into Fake One, so we'll see if that's what he's looking for. But with his value, he probably needs to send, even if it is just income. And I would imagine Pakistan wants to go full here after you see this value, and he's queuing up the power mercs as we speak. So King will probably income and maybe get out the Big Oath. We'll see. No, he will not. He will get out nothing. He will build 2 more Oathbreakers. 1 more Oathbreaker, actually. I just saw his gold.
Yeah, that's quite a monotonous build there so far from King Dan's. The Oathbreakers, I don't know, they might not cut it here on 6.
Yeah, no brutes at least, so that's kind of nice. The brutes are always dangerous. There is a brute waiting for Pakistan, and he did not roll anything very good here. So he kind of has a DPS steed.
His gun is tanking
Gun,
really
yeah.
nicely though, just taking out one Rocco from the pool. But let's have a look at King. The Robo's obliterating these Oathbreakers. Now getting onto the Nightmare. Will he kill one
He kill
more
one more?
Kree?
Okay, he's really happy.
He will, okay. Yeah, not bad. 54 there from King, 60 from Pakistan. Fake One will hold, has the Violet alive, should be able to clear up.
Yeah, I mean, it was good pressure to kind of protect Fake One on Wave 7, where he's not looking so good, but now Fake One needs to think about Wave 8 because, yeah, I mean, presumably he has to respect the potential for a big send there, but it is just going to be income from King. And they may want to just protect their Wave 8 because King and Fine don't look amazing there themselves. King is kind of trying to figure out how to build because he's got a really nasty aura setup later. So how does he fit everything? It's kind of hovering everything to figure out. Fine playing with very dangerously here. Ends up deciding to not do that. I think he was considering a Vulcan shift, which, would have been pretty crazy, I think, because his build doesn't look so good that he doesn't have to respect the 7 reason.
Yeah, we do see Pakistan pulling ahead in terms of workers. He's all the way up to 11 now. So he's having quite a nice game, but he's really piling that pressure on. He's got 130 Mythium stored. Just going for Income King, actually.
Yeah, I think this is
Alright.
kind of the classic for Fake One in Pakistan. They do like to apply pressure and then, if they see their opponents are on value, it's just income.
Yeah. They were just joking all along. There was no
Yeah, it
pressure.
was just jokes. And
Well, it
Fake One
certainly worked.
is...
It's kept King on 9 workers this far into the game.
Yeah, I mean, for King, he actually was thinking about the Avenger here, but kind of opts for the Big Oath and Steed. Not sure I necessarily think that's better or worse, but I think the Avenger could be nice next wave, just to have a more consistent DPS, and then obviously better on 10, but worse on 11 and 12, where he has to consider that overworks in the game. Fine against the Income King in any case. And there are Brutes coming, and a Hermit. And it may or may not work. I would have liked to see Fine maybe push one less so that he could actually hunt here, but like hunt and go Violet, but he's actually going for the gun rat strat still.
Yeah. Doesn't he
Uh,
realize this was patched out?
I mean, to be fair, it's still pretty effective. Like there's still pretty good tank value.
Yeah.
And how will King do against the Butter Brute?
I mean, he's going to be completely fine, right? He hasn't even built here. This seems like such a
Yeah,
copium recent.
yeah. After you see the Big Oath, I mean, it's maybe under tanking.
It's still going to
Oh,
pop off, right?
I think it will eventually.
Ooh, it does
Okay, there
pop
we
off
go.
like pretty
And it's
much
super safe.
perfectly. Yeah.
The Nightmare even tanks for it. But
In
not
Pakistan,
really
he leaks
killing anything.
46%, fine 40. Okay, King Dance does leak. Well,
Yeah, I think that chain that he added for upper split ended up hurting him a bit. Didn't
yeah,
just didn't get the pop off fast enough.
yeah.
But you know, not a bad leak in any case.
I mean, this is why, Pakistan's playing and we're commentating. He knows something that we
Yeah.
don't. They did get a decent
And
chunk of King
King,
damage as a result.
yeah, King is gonna try Mole here. We'll see how it goes. Mole and Lizard. So he kind of feels that Pakistan or Fake One is gonna leak no matter what. So he's sending the lizards to, well, basically deny him gold. Don't know if that's overconfident because I don't not 100% sure that this will always leak.
This should be a leak on Fake One, I'm pretty certain.
Oh, he's he's wrapping one of the lizards.
Yeah, and the
And
Violet's
he
going to
does
kill
have
the
the
other.
violet, yeah. So the plan to deny him gold did not fully work, but it will be a leak.
One lizard, one mole are going to make it through, plus a fairly healthy boss,
Yeah, that
honestly. Will we get
honestly
one
he did a lot
more?
worse than I thought.
No, we
And
didn't even get
oh,
one more.
whoa.
Whoa, I'll tell you who did do worse than we thought. There was a brute added there.
Yeah.
Pakistan caught unawares.
King also goes for a small leak, but
Yeah, but
I think he's pretty happy, yeah.
worse poles are losing this trade, I fear. They're gonna go actually below the King HP of Slot Machine. So after navigating the early game so well there, one kind of unforced error on wave 10 and suddenly Fine and King are in the lead.
Yeah. Was kind of a series, like a million small cuts, and they slowly fell behind. So we'll see how they can bring it back because it's obviously not even close to a huge enough lead yet. But
Yeah.
GA on the Antler, so I mean that did get nerfed. The white man buffed Antler is worse, but it may still be his best GA target considering his
I mean,
units.
damage reduction is damage reduction.
And we do have hero for everyone else. I mean, King will have some nasty hero aura here if he can figure it all out. Maybe he'll go for like the white vein above the Avenger. Not sure. He's got plenty of time.
Oh, he has one hell of a late game roll actually.
Yeah. Could also go white main, sell the third column Oathbreaker. But I mean, I'll let him cook. I'm sure he's thought it out.
He knows what he's doing.
And he's probably thinking about 14, because that's really where you don't want to see a 15 with his role. To be fair, he has OT, so maybe his build more than most builds like this are okay, but we'll see. Fine going for a hunt here. I think that's completely fine. He looks really solid. And pretty unlikely to see Ascend here with no offensive spell besides Overwork, but you've already seen Hero, so we'll have to see. Do players feel the pressure here? Or are they fine playing for 14?
Yeah, wave
like
13
it.
is way too strong for all the... Wait a second. Just as I was saying how strong they are on 13, we see Ascend coming out here from
Yeah.
both Fine and King Dans. Pakistan and Fake One, they do match it with income.
Yeah. I like the Income King. And the 4 Eyes from Fine not going to be as good against this build choice.
Yeah, okay.
And they're quite undervalued, and King probably has the best build for 13, so I can understand it. I wouldn't have minded seeing a try against Fine, just because he doesn't look quite as solid there, but he does have the army of looters.
They're sneaking in some King upgrades as well.
Yeah.
Alright, here we
Yep.
go. 440 for Pakistan, 380 for Fake One. The boosted Orchids making short work of the first couple of creeps.
And,
Arctear, wow, that's a
Fake One is
perfect
really
off-tank
good.
there for his split. And the Starcaller getting some very juicy shotgun blasts against the wave as well.
Yeah,
One
looks
more.
like to be
There we go.
one creep leak, maybe?
One creep leaked for Pakistan, plus the send. And Fake One, can he kill one more? He can't. 2 creeps leaked. Okay.
So, a good Income King, but still a pretty decent result for Fine and King.
Yeah.
Presumably, you want to try and play for 15 if you're a Fake One in Pakistan now, but there are options in King and Fine's tool belt to avoid that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Fine, especially with the Pack Rat Hunt open to him, he can kind of just chill on value. And King will have the hero. I mean, King's hero aura is insane, right? He has so much value already on it with the
Yeah.
Doppel, the Oath, the Hellgate. I mean, he has the Avenger coming, another gate. I mean,
This could also be like the white main spot.
yeah. And he's not even greeting this spot, right? He's just, yeah, Pegasus good enough.
Yeah, he just wants the power right now, right? Like, if he needs
Yeah.
to sell this for another spot on the hero, he can, but
Yeah.
for now, this is looking really strong.
Yeah. And they can see that Pakistan and Fake One probably push for this. I mean, with Fake One's build, he's pretty much the strongest build-wise on 15,
Yeah.
but value-wise, perhaps not. And he may even go for a leak here. It looks like he will,
Yeah.
so kind of forcing the issue.
Not even too small,
They're
honestly.
double leaking.
Wait a second.
So I think they know what's up.
Yeah, I think Slot Machine might send now.
The Jig may have been revealed. And
Alright.
the Needlers are queued.
Here comes the Shamans and Needler from Pakistan as well. Oh. Okay,
But,
Slot
yeah, I mean,
Machine,
they're-
pretty heavily favoured according to the old Julesometer.
They're kind of just on value, and Fake One and Pakistan are, well, the opposite of that.
Yeah, yeah. Pakistan is 1,000 undervalue when he finishes spending. Fake One essentially the same.
Yeah.
And like you say, he might have good unit quality, but when you're so far undervalue, I don't know, man.
It's tricky.
Fine and King both much closer to value, and they also have that King HP buffer as well. I fear this race may not go in favour of our plucky Polish friends.
Yeah, and the thing is, they were pushing for this play, but they still have about the same Mythium sense. Just because they were so pushed from earlier. King does look like he will go for a small leak. I can't really tell how much HP on his
Ah.
Stealth Ball.
But
But,
it doesn't matter. Fake One and Pakistan, they both leak huge. We've got 2 Needlers and a full HP boss on the King. I think not even Kingsguard can save them here, Offma.
No, I don't think so.
There we have it. Game number 1 in short fashion going the way of Fine and King Dans.
Yeah.
Very, very well played there from the superstar duo. That they have used their Kingsguard and lock-in picks there. And often, what do you think about the way that one played out?
I mean, that was just a straight up like skill outplayed just from just micro. That was it.
Yeah,
Like early game they just nothing happened and they lost.
yeah,
Right? So you just straight up got outplayed that game. So I think you can be okay with that and you're like, okay, well, we can't play like that again. We probably need to look for more opportunities and because so far if you just play standard, it seems like you're getting outplayed, right? So
yeah. So they need to try and make
you may
something
want to
happen. They need to
yeah.
push them off their game, go for, yellow guys on 7, the classics, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
or just play more aggressively yourself. I mean, you could feel like, okay, we played like terrible, so let's just run it back. That's also possible, but you may feel like we played pretty good and nothing happened and we lost.
Yeah, yeah.
And in that case, you're definitely more incentivized to just try and mix things up.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We're about to get into the second lobby here. Yeah, there we go.
But on the plus side, that is two of the best masterminds for finding king.
Yeah, true. So the coveted Kingsguard is gone, and lock-in random as well for Kingdans. So two of the more popular masterminds this
Yeah.
month already used. They do still have Scrapper available, of course.
Well, Fine did say I'll play Scrapper, but he
He
may have been
did.
completely joking when he said that.
He may have forgotten as well. But
And
we'll
the other
see.
thing I would expect is like, will they see a Fiesta cartel in this game, or will they will I would think they would be willing to play it because they played it with their backs against the wall.
Mhm.
So, um, not a bad time to pull it out right now. But honestly, I'm just curious what their third set of masterminds will be. I would imagine it might be something tame, like Greed and Cash Out or something like along those lines, but
Yeah.
maybe something spicy hidden there as well.
There's a lot of choice, right? So they still have basically everything available, apart from their two favourites. But King still has Chaos. He still has Redraw. Fine. I mean, Fine plays everything, right? I think
Yeah.
he cycles through a lot of stuff. Haven't really seen any YOLOs picked up.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Strangely, yeah.
Got a one game lead. It's perfect.
Oh, here we go. I did say if anyone's going to pick YOLO, it's going to be Fine. It's going to be like during the best of 5. So
Yeah.
let's find out if that prediction was true as we go into game number 2.
Yeah, not the best spells for a Fiesta Cartel, to be fair. So we may see something more tame.
The players are thinking.
Okay,
There's
I
the
lied.
Fiesta Cartel. Okay.
And this time he has pretty much the exact same opener he did last time with the consort in the tree.
hmm
So maybe we'll see it again. He also has the Garg this time. Pretty cool role he could play, like big bunk
Yeah.
if he wants. Plenty of options. I mean, Chieftain plus Archer plus Garg is also a classic combo.
Really good
Um,
Fiesta openers as well, with Atom, with Consort. Even
yeah.
there's things you can do with Pyroskeleton, but I don't think that's quite top tier.
Yeah, ooh,
Um,
a mix-up, right? Well, redraw for Fake One, so he's taking
okay.
over the assemble the role,
Yeah.
and Pakistan will be the one playing standard.
We'll
And
have to
Fake One
see as
has
well
Casket Angler.
if the Poles have done their homework in the same way that Drakira
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Adams did, because they insta-snailed King Downs' Fiesta in Game 2, right, in that series.
yeah. And I love Fine's opener as well. He's really great with the Whirly Bird, and it's got good synergy just with Cartel, right? Because
Mhm.
broken early game unit, broken early game mastermind. No snail? Oh, there
There
it is.
is the
Okay, so
snail.
they
These
have been
these
studying.
teams have been doing their homework, man.
I like that.
So
And
King,
King, well, we saw what happened last time he went minus
yeah.
16 with Fiesta. No problem for him.
No, they lost that game, right?
No, that was when he wasn't Fiesta.
Oh,
So that time he was straight up minus 16. This time
yeah.
he's at least plus 8 first.
Okay.
But he is not going 6 workers, so respecting the snail reset, obviously, because it's a 5 worker opener.
Hmm.
And he could go something like, okay, that's not quite what I had in mind, but I think that will do about the same. I think Garg plus Buzz, from what I remember, is like a very clean like leak as well.
Hmm.
So we'll see how it goes.
It also positions him to have a much better unit on 3 as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So see how it goes. I mean, Snail on the left is not great, but
And the
he
Proton
should
at
be
least
doing
kills
good.
it quicker.
Yeah. And Fine has rerolled into Aqua plus the Whirlybird, which is even more broken.
What a beast. King, how is this leak? I mean, it's still
Pretty good.
5 creeps. It's okay. It's okay.
It's respectable.
Oh, Pakistan has a Robo queued up. I don't think the wave is going to be quite long enough, though. No.
Yeah.
2 Mythium away.
Optimist.
Hmm. King did go for that 6th worker, of
Yeah.
course. He has 2 gargoyles down. I think he's going to do very well here, even if Pakistan does decide to add the 2nd snail.
I would love for him to not send full here. Because I think when you see them start 5 workers, you kind of know they're going to be 6 workers with 2 Gargs, right? So how bad can they really leak? So I'd rather just save and have the pressure, but
He does
we'll
have the
see.
2nd
Maybe he
snail.
knows something I don't.
I mean, if King had just gone full moron mode, 7 workers,
Yeah.
Mr. Slickin style, then it would have been really good.
It would be, yeah. But it still looks like it'll be okay, right? The consort didn't really split tank. And it looks to be about, like, and again,
Yeah,
50%.
56% once again,
Wait, oh.
okay, but Fine leaking 2, that wasn't part of the script.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on his end, but it's not too bad. Wave 3 usually gets cleaned up by the king pretty quick.
Alright, down to
And a brute
90%,
here.
so first blood coming out in style. We'll have to see if this brute gets its job done here on wave
So,
4.
I
Fake
mean,
one.
this is a
Oh.
good synergy from what I remember to get the threshold for the Whirlybird spell, but we'll see how it goes. He's decent value.
Yeah. Now, King Dan's certainly hoping to do some damage here with the first Power Mercenary send of the game. Let's see how Fake One's going to deal with this.
Yeah. Pakistan also going for a full income send versus king. The casket will not get that second spell off.
Oh, that's not
What?
ideal. Now the Goblin Copter's getting kind of run down as
Yeah.
well. This is a
Will be a
decent
leak.
leak here, 60% on Fake One. Now Stanley is going to be able to cover most, if not all, of this.
Ooh. So that extra snail did just give king a really nice pro leak.
Oh, okay, that's a nice fiesta for him, for sure.
And Fine is kind of popping off with that Whirlybird. He is 9 workers now. And Pakistan, well, is not. He's 7 and maybe about to get a brute here. Or worse if this wave keeps going.
And not quite able to full cover there is Stanley, so
But
a little
a
tap
brute
on the king.
resend.
Okay,
King
this
got
one's
a long enough
interesting.
wave.
Fake
This
ones?
is some tricky positioning for Pakistan.
Yeah, okay, interesting. The 4th column chieftain, let's see if that one works out for him, because he has a lot of very weak value on wave 5,
Yeah.
so this brute could be deadly, and Fine will be able to add a robo as well. Fake one,
kinda-
though, with the double Whirlybird, he should do okay.
Yeah, he is +5 to be fair.
Yeah.
That
It does
copter
tank
on
the
the
boss.
Yeah, I worry that this mask is very AFK, but
Yeah, kind of tanking nothing, and now the Pilgrim just dies really quickly.
can he clean up some of these low HP
He
ones?
should be able to. Yeah,
Okay,
he kills
so
everything
that's
apart from the
very
brute.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
And same here. And yeah, that's a very, very good hold from Pakistan and Fake Ones, so far so
Oh, one more
good.
spell, one more spell. He does. He kills the
Ace.
brute. That's a full hold. What a machine.
+5 machine. And Fine is not happy, queuing up another power mark, and Pakistan actually held that well while saving on King, so
Yeah.
gonna try his own hand at a full send.
King has 180 gold. Is his best answer really 2 Sea Serpents?
It might be. Those units are very, very good on just in general, I guess, early game, but
I
he
mean,
does have a very
Deep
fragile
Coiler.
board.
Deep Coiler's really good early game. When you can get that bad boy out on 5 or 6, it's insane. But Sea Serpent, I just don't think it's on the same level as its big brother. We'll have to find out. This is 140 Sen now for King Dance.
Good tanking from his Atom, and I mean they do have very high DPS, so
Hmm.
they're helping the Atom out here. And he's sniping a
Sniping
Brute.
a
That's
Brute.
another advantage, but
Atom goes
Atom
down.
getting wrapped, and I mean it looks like he's in trouble.
He's not going to kill another creep, right? So that's a pretty big leak. 82%
Yeah,
there for King Dan's. Stanley
much
really
better.
making him sweat here on wave 6.
Yeah, I think so far a really good game from him. Holding almost everything, getting lots of gold from King,
And another
and going
Brute
for a Brute
Resend coming
Resend.
out. Okay.
So this game is pretty fast and aggressive, you
Yeah.
gotta say.
Well, this is what you wanted, Offmer, coming into the game. You wanted them to be a bit more aggressive, and they are living up to that expectation. And Jules is happy with them as well, by the way, so
Yeah,
worst polls for the first time in the series favoured to win the game, it seems.
yeah. And yeah, King is pretty undervalued against this full send. Fake one getting a full send of his own. He's not looking terrible here,
Yeah, that's an
but only has
interesting
the
full
base
send.
casket.
These things are
So
still really good on 7, though, right? Like, they just
yeah,
farm the small blobs.
but only one
Oh,
cast.
only one cast again.
Pretty good split tanking from all his units though.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I guess King with a great read that he's going for the bounty finally and kind
Mhm.
of catches him.
Yeah, and really punishing it actually, because Wave 7, one of the more crucial waves for farming mana. King Dan's actually leaked worse though, to the same size
Yeah.
send, so despite being Fiesta, I don't think this trade is particularly great for him.
Yeah, not the best. And if, for in a fake one did kill all the big blobs, so the
Yeah.
leftovers were just the sends and a million small blobs.
Hmm.
So not the worst outcome for him. But yeah, so far so good for the Bulls.
Yeah, Polsky Garom.
And a Hermit try against Fine here. He looks like he should be fine with kind of an overwhelming amount of AoE.
Yeah, Fine is going for the value strategy here on 8. Hermit Robo could, I think, easily have caught him unawares if he had played it a bit more greedy, but with this value and the double aqua combo, I think Fine's going to be okay.
Yeah. Does lose his copter.
Casket goes down, but it did get a couple of spells on the wave first,
Yeah.
and crucially those aquas still alive. Rogue Wave tanking the split. Yeah, I mean, look, he's gonna leak, but it's, I mean, even, is he
Yeah.
just like the Hermit?
It's so close.
Hermit +1. Okay, he got his guy.
He got his guy.
Fine,
Pushing
meanwhile,
it
he has
very
200 Mythium, so he does not mind this Pro League whatsoever. Here comes the counterattack send on wave
Interesting.
9 into Stanley. We've got Mole Hermit already sent, Brute queued up as well.
Kind of surprised with Mole Hermit because I feel like, I mean, the Mole is good against all these small mass, but I feel like the bigger threat is like, like the Canopy or like the Chieftain buffing something. But he does have enough to get some brutes in there too, so. Fake one has finally got his pin on, and he and King are both saving.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how we do against this big send. Canopy is really good on this wave, and he is sniping the brute.
Pretty nice
but
split
now-
tanking as
yeah.
well when the split comes around. It does get the heal off before it goes down. That's pretty clutch.
Not really enough damage here
No.
to follow it up. So.
Too much dead value with all the Tempests and Masks, and King Dan's leaking 40% to a Dino helps though. So
Yeah.
75% leak there from Stanley, but he's farming a bit of Burt from King Dan's leak, and of course Fake One will be more than capable to clear this up in the mid.
Yeah, and Fine is going for a resend. Fake one is going for a full send. Same with King. What will Stanley do? Will he go full as well, or will it just be income for him? Or even a save?
It's kind of hard to send into like potential double coilers on
Yeah.
10, so he just goes for lizards. The send into Fine is huge though. We've got
Yeah.
Pack, Brute, Robo. Fine
He's
does
looking.
whip out his Avenger. The rest of
Could
his
get an
units are
alpha
pretty
male.
bad. Ah, he can. He sells a
Yeah.
couple of copters.
But still a leak, I would think.
I think so.
And will Fake One be able to hold here? He is also receiving the big yellow guy.
Yeah. Well, both the players receiving full sends are on 1400 value. Oh, actually, Fine goes for the full send as well.
Yeah. But Stanley did add the archer here, so at least cognizant that he should play around it and is sniping the
Oh,
wall.
Fake One is one-shotting the Ogre. That's so
Yeah.
clutch.
Well, the Ogre is a pretty good tank against the Kingpin, though,
Yeah,
so
that's
he will
true.
leak the boss, but does get the Ogre gold.
One more. No, the Starclaw doesn't get its spell off. Finally, 72% to there. Fake
Cool.
159. But Stanley, he's not holding either. 40% leak here. The worst polls, they've been ahead through the entire early game. They're about to take a ton of king damage here on wave 10.
And now comes the difficult question of am I allowed to venture?
Huh? They go for another resend here. Pakistan into Kingdans with the Hermit, with the Robo. Kingdans determined not to be
Kind of
caught
expect
unprepared,
Dark
though.
Venture from King, but not sure. And I think for Stanley, he's thinking about Venture here.
He's certainly considering it.
I think he will.
His value's high. He's got 200 gold left. I'm pretty certain he's going to go for the venture, right?
I think King is just going to DR Chieftain at the last second.
Mhm.
Whoa, that's not DR.
What did he do? Did he
Ventured
just push
at
two
the last
workers? Oh, he ventured on King Dance. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to get his Fiesta here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, pretty pretty bolty Venture, I would say. I guess he felt like the bunk that he showed was good enough deterrent, but
Well, it would have been 5 heads if there was just income or no send, but to the full send, that's a
yeah.
pretty big leak. 80% there for King Dan's. Stanley's going to get a ton of leak gold from this.
But they did save, so they are threatening this 12th play.
Here's the counter-attack play coming out, though. We've got triple imps here from King Dan's, a couple of brutes to boot, and Fine going for the full
Yeah.
Aura Send as well. Well, Pakistan did take the venture, so this is his kind of danger wave right now.
It didn't really push though, so
That's true, and he's also really strong on 12.
yeah.
Yeah, gets the Trinity Archer with the Leviathan buff, a nice tank in the split as well. Even still has 100 gold left to play with.
Kind of surprised Fake One isn't just rolling for a better unit, but he does really want the units that he has in his role, so I can kind of understand it.
Yeah,
But I would be kind of shocked to see
I feel
Stanley
like he
leak
should
here.
not shift 200 gold here.
Yeah, probably not.
Huh. He has
Uh,
other plans though, so let's see how that works out for him.
Yeah,
Both players
520,
receive a 520 send here.
I think when you see Kingman's value red, you probably need to just stack your
Yeah,
plans and just, yeah.
you need to try and hold the wave. Wave 12
mean,
is deadly.
His logic was that Stanley will hold here, and he
And
is
he
correct
will.
about that.
He will. That's pretty sound logic. Very nice hold there from Pakistan. 71% leak from Fake One though. I have to wonder how much better he would have performed if he'd spent that extra 200 gold.
Yeah. But, I mean, Stanley should kind of skyrocket after
Yeah.
these events. Like, he's gonna get the venture. I mean, he's probably gonna be. Well, he may not be on fire because Fake One might be low enough, but.
Well, here's the thing as well though. Like King Dan's just got a ton of leak gold there, and he's on venture as well. So yeah, Stanley is right up at the top, but King Dan's he's not too far behind.
Yeah, I think honestly more surprising to me is that Fine. I guess he just went full power bricks and he's cartel, so he's kind of falling a bit behind. But this is a pretty hard push now from Fake One and Stanley, so we'll see what their plans are.
Mm-hmm. And Fine is
King is
already
going.
undervalued, by the way, so he's
Yeah,
around 250 under. King Dan's is on value still, like he's got a
yeah.
bunch left in his bank account right now.
He's just shifting to mess with them. Maybe he's just trying to bait out the 14 cent and they'll go income king there.
Hmm.
But I don't think Stanley should feel the need to send, looking at its value.
Yeah, he's not under any threat.
We'll
Fine
go
and
one
King
more
Dan's,
here.
though, they are starting to sweat. They've gone for the auto send here, just trying to
Mhm.
keep their income healthy.
And
Does that
it
open them
opens
up
up
to
16.
16? Yeah.
Yeah. King is much, much weaker there.
Okay.
Especially if he starts going for like chieftain type build.
Hmm.
But it looks like he's going heavy into the nucleus, so see how that pans out for him.
Hmm. I mean, we've seen Nucleus perform wonders on other games on the cast, so let's keep eyes out on that. But he's kind of lacking tank value, honestly, for that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think they might just get one shot on 16,
Yeah.
looking at how this is going. I mean, he's on value here with 500 income, so
Let's see how hard the Poles decide to push off of this income king send. The answer appears to be yes, at least so far.
yeah.
So yeah, two easy cleanup holds on the income sends, and a lot of extra workers being built on the side of the Poles.
Yeah.
Alright, values starting to suffer a little bit now on the side of Slot Machine, but we have
Mhm.
seen this scenario play out before, Offma, where the side that is able to just income, 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 if they don't get one shot on 16, we might have a game on our
Yeah,
hands.
we might. And King can always go for the buffed skeleton, so these pilgrims aren't dead value on 16.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, these sends might be a bit big.
They both have over 1,000 Mythium already stockpiled. And here it comes. We've got
Yeah.
Back Mole from Pakistan. We've got Double Needler already
Ooh.
sent from Fake One. That's spicy.
Well, for ogres, the skeleton might come in clutch here, but
Hmm.
obviously still a lot of Pythium and maybe a nice pro leak here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or
it's very close, but it is a pro
yeah.
leak.
Well done.
So nice long wave here for the Poles. They continue stockpiling those bricks, and this end is going to be huge. So Slot
Yeah.
Machine, can you weather this storm, or will the worst Poles level up the series here in game two?
Yeah. You've heard of pack imps, but have you heard of pack ogres?
Yeah? I mean, if you can afford 6 ogres in one send, it's got to be pretty strong, right?
Yeah. And looks like they're quite undervalued. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, the magician, there's a lot of magician value to be fair, but don't know if there's quite as much as he needs.
Hmm. Well, I mean, King Dans has a lot of hopes resting on this skeleton's shoulders, so let's see how well he survives. He's a very healthy boy. There is no Four Eyes there.
3 needlers,
The
which is
skeleton
pretty good for king damage.
is down. The nucleus pops off now, though, so
Yeah.
his DPS did just skyrocket, but the backline already exposed. That's going to be a decent leak there for King Dans, but fine. He's cleared up absolutely everything apart from those 3 needlers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that was Fake One's plan, is to get 3 needlers to the king to try and kill them.
Well,
So
he's achieved that. So let's see if they do their job now, because Needless, they have this like tendency to ramp down before reaching the king. So yeah,
yeah, they're alive.
they're alive. Their probability of winning has increased.
The question is, how do you actually win the game? That is always the tricky part, because Stanley is really, really strong on 19,
Yeah,
and Fake One is really, really strong on
on 20.
yes.
Yeah, King is also very strong on 19 though. So I mean, Fine is not. So I think
Fine is
Fine
not,
would
yeah.
probably get run over with a 19 send.
Yeah, it may be something like he shows value here and then pushes for 19.
Hmm. Well, Stanley's pushed quite hard, so maybe they've got eyes on 19. We'll see.
What's it? Hmm. Fine is not pushing. He is already more pushed, to be fair, but I feel like looking at his value, they can't really skip 19, so I feel like a Sui play is the only thing that makes sense to me, but
Yeah.
they may also try to play to live, but I don't really see how he can
I mean,
hold.
King is really strong on 19, and he's
Yeah,
he's still on value right now, so...
he does have to rebuild a new bunk. Yeah, I mean, they will have to send, but no, it's interesting.
Yeah, Fine is very under. He's already minus 700. More to the point, though, Pakistan and Fake One, they're pretty far under themselves. One
Yeah.
more wave would be quite bold of them to skip.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Stanley could probably hold.
He's
I think
very
his build
strong,
is
19.
completely broken.
Here comes the send. They're about to be put to the test. Will the Poles send here themselves? They will
Oh,
not.
wow.
Okay.
1k under each of them.
Alright, Offma, we have a game on our hands. Worst Poles currently very favoured in this game too. It's
It's a
all
bold
going to
skip.
come down to this send, though. Like, if they are able to survive this send, they almost certainly win the game.
Yeah.
But if this undercut works for Slot Machine, they're going to snatch this game from the jaws of defeat.
He's building for 20 because he thinks Stanley will just hold. So, but the thing is, you have to hold, and your teammate can't link everything,
Yeah.
which is not gonna happen, but it is on the table.
He's strong here, but he's also really far undervalued. Let's keep eyes on Stanley's lane, because this is the one that's really important, I feel. He needs to hold here. This? Wow. Look at that. Perfect split tanking from this Trinity Archer on the left. The Imps are distracting
good,
the wave for a long time. He's still got half the wave to deal with. It's not going to hold.
They dead? They don't have Kingsguard.
They don't have Kingsguard. It is fully upgraded.
There's no Shaman at least.
And all of Stanley's leaks are quite low HP. But Wave 19 is deadly.
I think they're just barely alive?
Just barely. That was close. But they're giving away so much gold, Offma.
And it is going to be Shaman Reset. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I can't imagine Fake One leaking 20, though, is the problem.
Fake One is really strong here, but Stanley's not. I mean, he's got the Chieftain, but so much of his value is in this ranged Pierce DPS that just does nothing to help you out on Wave 20.
Let's see. I mean, there is going to be one big Kenepai, and he's got a lot of value, to be fair.
Yeah, he does have a lot of value. Wave 20, I don't know. I feel like if you don't have one of these units or Fatalizer or something, you just leak 20, like almost no matter what.
Luckily, Fake One does have 2 of those units, so let's see how it goes.
He's one shot the snail. Let's have a quick look over at Stanley. I mean, his big canopy's already dead. His melee units are already gone. Yeah, that will be a leak there on Stanley. So, Fake One, though, he has very comfortably held his lane. Okay. So, yeah, Stanley does leak. That will be another shot down. 250 gold, plus the gold from the boss itself. So, Fine is going to be getting a decent chunk of extra change to help him hold 21. Oh, but Fine's actually already leaking to no send, so...
He went for the kill the sends approach if there was a 20 cent, so...
Right, well, here's the send. Fine and King Dan's desperately trying to resend once again. I don't think this is going to work out for them, though.
Yeah. think this one may have been finally secured.
Yeah. Slot Machine, though, they did a pretty good job of staying in this game.
Yeah.
They certainly made the Poles work for it. That's a lot of atoms. These
Best of
sends
luck to them.
are enormous, Offmer. Let's have a quick look. We've got 2.3k for Fine, 2.8k there for King Dans. I think we're going to see
I've,
the game end here.
I've never seen 8 ogres in a Nova Cup game. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
And the yellow guys are wailing away on the front line here of King Dans. His chieftains are crumbling under those huge clubs. That's 150% leak for the king. It's 180 for Fine. And the Poles have done it. The series is now
Yeah.
tied 1-1. Very well played.
Yeah. Was a much better early game this time from them. And honestly, they didn't actually have to do much to mix it up because their opponents played Fiesta.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Fiesta seems quite underwhelming at
Yeah.
times, and then there's other times when it just absolutely crushes, as we saw in the semi-final. It's a very hit or miss mastermind, right? You don't really have a kind of mediocre Fiesta game. It either smashes it out of the park,
Yeah.
or you kind of get bullied, like in this game. Well, okay, we have a series on our hands,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. For those of you Game 5 fans, a tied series is pretty good. So let's see which one of our teams can pull ahead as we get into the next game of the series. Now, just remind me, that was redraw
Lock in random.
and lock in random. Okay. Alright, so both teams have used up lock-in now. Redraw still available for King Downs. That is one of his favourite masterminds, so still options to choose from. Both teams still
Yeah,
have
let's
YOLO, of
see.
course.
Of course, YOLO and Scrapper probably the next picks.
Mhm.
But yeah, it definitely more interesting now. They still have their King's Guard that they seem to love. So we'll see if they go with that.
Mhm. Yeah, Kingsguard has probably been the story of this Nova Cup. Like, it's just... It seems by far the most popular, the most consistently performing mastermind,
Mhm.
and yeah, I certainly would not be surprised to see the Poles pick it up here in Game 3 to use it to get the edge in the series. We are just waiting for Elon to join the lobby, and we should be able to get the game underway. A very ballsy skip there by the
Yeah.
Poles, but it clearly worked out for them in the game. So they have managed to level the scoreline here, maybe making Fine and King Dans sweat a little bit. They've deviated
Yeah.
from the script here. King Dans doesn't like to lose.
No, I don't think he does.
He's unaccustomed to it. He doesn't have to do it very often, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true in his defense.
All right, we're just waiting for Fake One to join the lobby. Okay, well, given that both teams are so evenly matched so far in the series, Offmer, have your predictions changed at all, or are you still thinking it's going to be a
Um,
Fine and King Dan's victory?
well, a 32 does seem more likely, but we shall see.
Mm.
We shall see.
I'm still saying Polska Garom, man. I really
I
like the
can
way
believe.
they played there in Game 2. I think if we can see more of the same,
Yeah,
this could be the month for Pakistan
this
and
could
Fake
be.
One. Okay, he's joined the lobby. Enough
Let's go.
speculation. Let's get this show on the road. Alright, they're back. Let's go.
Let's go.
Guys, let's go. Hello.
I like-
There we go. All right, guys. So finally, the players have decided to put me out of my misery in terms of padding and get the game started. So here it is. It's game number 3.
Will they run it back? It's possible. There's overwork. It's not a bad Fiesta Cartel spell.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more thought in these. Whoa!
Ah, okay. The Poles decide to run it back with the Fiesta Cartel. Let's show them how it's done, they say.
Yeah, not the easiest Fiesta roll to play. But man, does Stanley have a nice roll.
Oh yeah, that is an absolute juicer of a roll there for Stanley. The almost ideal Nightmare Butcher early game roll there, with answers for
Yeah,
every wave that you might need, up until like 10, let's say.
and yeah, he will have a very good game. And we have the Oathbreaker for the fake one. Will
Yeah,
be
not ideal.
tricky.
He doesn't have a great Fiesta opener here.
Yeah. King could play a variety of different things. Pixie Harpy looks like what he's going for. It's
Mhm.
kind of a classic King Dance opener. And fine. Oh, a
They are
snail.
double snailing, so this should be a decent leak for King Dans.
Yeah. Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, he smelled it. Wait,
Double
that's-
snail
that
from
might not
Fine and
be a
King
good
Dans as well. Okay, 4 snails here. A real Fiesta opener to the game. Now, Oathbreaker can RNG leak to a snail.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he wants.
Well, King Dans leaks 50% to his snail.
Uh-huh.
He's not playing Fiesta, remember. And fake one he holds.
Yeah,
How much
what a
HP
beast.
is left? 9. Absolute
Too
machine.
good. King damage, though.
King damage, okay. Pretty good start here for the Poles.
Yeah.
They're just saying a little chesh to the king there on 1.
Yeah. Will Pakistan go for the snail after income or not?
Well, King Dans has it shifted. There it goes. Alright, so double snail
snail.
here for fake one. He did add both an aqua and
Yeah.
the split. So he should do
Not
okay.
really thinking.
Yeah, the
went for
Oathbreaker's
the
going to go down
safer-
really quickly.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Or maybe it's just like he drew it up.
One more. No, 46.
Yeah,
Okay.
could be worse.
Could be worse. Could
think
be
he
a
might have
little
just-
better.
Yeah. Went for the safe off positioning, but worse here, better later. King going for a second pixie now. Pakistan going for the full send into him, which should be fine for him. I mean, normally this is like a 50% leak if you don't have this, or this, so would imagine that changes the equation a bit.
Yeah, I think when
Fine.
you do have this, and this, you probably do okay.
Fine on 6 workers now with the Crusher and the Archer. Pretty nice combo, especially with the Sea Dragon. You're really, really safe on 5. You basically only need to worry about wave 6. And to be honest, he doesn't look like he's doing much better. I mean, 37% is not bad, killing 2 pixies.
It's not
He's-
terrible, but it is yet more gold lost there for King. And
Yeah.
Stanley is filling his coffers.
Yeah, he is Cartel, so
Cartel
the
with
one
a
thing they-
really good early game roll as well. Like,
yeah.
Stanley has
He's 8
potential
workers,
to
Nightmare
snowball.
Butcher. And he's 8 worker Nightmare Butcher, and he's getting sent here. Because Fine is going income sent and pushing the 8 workers. It may be too bold for him, but he didn't have money for the Sea Dragon. I think he would have been at 93, so he said, screw it, I'm just going to push. See if Elon goes for the full snail.
He does
Whoa.
not.
But Fine also removes the bone wires, so let's see.
Well,
Everyone playing pretty risky here.
The Crusher does go down. This will be a leak here for Fine. Not too small either, 58%, and King Dan's as well, 33. The Poles, absolutely stunning performance here in game number 3, taking a pretty juicy early game lead.
Yeah, it's just some pretty big mistakes. Like, I would think that Fine knows that Crusher plus Archer is not that good on 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now he kind of wishes he just built those ponies.
All 4 players skipping a wave here on 5, looking to apply some pressure perhaps onto 6.
Yeah, I mean, if Fine is really ballsy, he could shift here for Avenger, but...
He's shifting? Oh no, okay.
He's shifting.
He doesn't want to get stung twice after that wave 4.
Yeah. Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's saving for this wave 6 meetup.
Here it comes.
We'll see how they do. I mean, it's not the best units of all time for Fake One, but maybe just enough. So Imps for the right side, Brutes for the left.
Mm-hmm.
Fine is maybe in a pinch of trouble.
Yeah, he adds the Disciple, which is really good single
Yeah.
target damage, but it doesn't really help his tank situation at all, and I'm just
Yeah.
kind of worried that, like, with only 2 big HP pool units, he's going to get overwhelmed.
King could not get to the big skeleton, so he opts for the Slime Siren, so we'll have to see if that can get full mana or not. It is better against the Imps if it does pop off, but I don't know that it will. It
It did. Oh, that's huge there for King Downs. This is
But
the
still-
difference between, like, killing 2 more creeps or not. Fake One leaks
Yeah.
92, Fine leaks 63, King 60, but Stanley, once again,
What a
the
beast.
hold here. He's having one hell of a game here, where he needs it the
Yeah.
most.
I mean, this game is trending very poorly. And the cartel is kind of taking over this game.
Yeah, Slot Machine, they are looking on very rocky territory right now, down at 20% HP on the
They have
King.
no king ups.
But the Poles are not giving them any room to breathe because here comes the double brute resend on wave 7. Will they be expecting this, Offma? They have stored enough gold to perform quite well. So King Dan's, he's actually plus value. He does build the Sky Queen here.
I worry about the Slime Siren though, because against double brute, if it could not cast, and
Yeah.
then trouble is afoot.
And that would spell disaster for King Dan's,
And
honestly.
Fine is not building for here. Well, he
Well,
doesn't
they're
have
both
Arcane,
staying
but
high value though, so they're maybe sniffing something. Let's keep eyes on this Slime Siren because this is really important now. Does it reach full mana? It does, okay. But the wave is already on the Sky Queen, so maybe the full mana doesn't help that much.
yeah,
Sky Queen goes down. Did do its job though. Here, Fine. He's
But-
doing okay, but both players leaking once
There
again.
might be-
I think they're dead here, Offma.
um,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The King goes down here on wave 7. Worse Poles.
oops.
They take the lead. I told you, man. It's their month.
Yeah,
Pakistan and Fake One. What a game. That was the quickest game we've seen in this entire 2 days of Nova Cup, right? We did have a Wave 8 banger from L1 and Shadow Wings yesterday, but Pakistan and Fake One, they are not ones to be undersold, and they've gone for a Wave 7 victory here against King Dan's and Fine. So that was pretty exciting, man.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what you want to see with Fiesta Cartel is a game ending on wave 7.
Yeah, and what's really cool about that is they kind of... It's almost like a bit of insult to injury, right, for King Dan's and Fine, because they got beaten when they played Fiesta Cartel in the game previous, and then the Poles just say, well, we're going to show you how it's done.
Yeah. Pretty impressed. I mean, some pretty bad mistakes. I think fine on 4 was a huge mistake, and then that kind of set up Wave 6 being so bad. No worries. And I think we will see some more interesting stuff now that Pakistan and Fake One are pretty much lower on options. They still have Kingsguard, they have Chaos, so they may go back to that game 1 combo that they tried. Otherwise, for Fine and King, I mean, they've kind of shown their hand for what they were gonna plan, which is the Greed Cash Out, and then Cartel and Fiesta are their like 4 masterminds that they're thinking about. So we'll see if that's really all they have. But honestly, if they just play a bit better in this early game, it should be a much closer game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the polls are certainly showing their stuff here in the series where it counts, and they put on one hell of a show there in the third game of the series. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, for sure. They probably feel very good. I mean, after you win a game like that, your confidence is definitely extremely high.
Yeah. They have wiggle room now as well, right? Because they can
Yeah.
afford to drop a game, while Fine and King Dance, they are on their last legs. So we'll have to see, will Game 4 be the decider here for the polls, or will Team Slot Machine manage to bring it back into a tight series once again?
You shall see.
Alright, the players are ready. Guys, so here we go. Game number 4 is about to begin. This is a really important match now for the Poles. This will be their first Nova Cup victory if they win here now. So let's see, do they have what it takes? Game number 4.
Defensive spell, scaling spell, offensive spell. So good mix here. So it is going to be the Kingsguard. It's going to be the Cash Out again. Champion this time for Fine. Didn't like the Greed. Could play around Champ Nightmare, Champ Whirly Bird, I guess, if he wants to play that as his opener.
Doesn't
But
really have any like synergy in the role though, right? Like, again, good unit quality, but no auras, nothing to tie it together.
and just Greed for Stanley, so not really wanting to play around the Chaos.
Mhm.
And he has Whirly Bird, or I guess Skeleton, both are good options, and maybe scaling into Disciple Gates or something along those lines. For Fake One, he's going to start with the Warp Wing and a Looter. So pretty solid opener as well.
Mhm.
King has Flower Seedling. I would imagine he wants to play around that. So we may see another fast early game, but hopefully it goes better for finding King Dance than the previous one. Fine, will opt for the Nightmare.
Alright, it's just 4 King Ups this time around, which is quite interesting, right? Because we had 4 snails causing havoc in the previous game.
That is true, but I guess they know one side knows that they're not Fiesta, and the other side kind of knows that they weren't willing to play Fiesta twice.
Yeah.
So King will be 6 workers with the Flower Seedling, so that's always really nice. 6 workers on wave 2 already.
Yeah. I feel like even though Fake One has half his workers, he's probably keeping pace in terms of Mythium right now because this is so broken in the early game.
Yeah, we'll have to track that. But for sure the pack red is really insane. And he's just going King Ups into Fine. Makes sense. Nightmare probably not going to have pressure in since you're Kingsguard.
Oh,
a
a
snail.
post-ink on Snail here, but Stanley did
snailed,
add
I
2
think.
Peewees. He's going to be completely fine.
King probably going to go to 7 or 8 workers now. With that King Up he received. And 7 workers for Stanley as well. 6 workers for Fine. Back to his looter ways.
Yeah, making the most of that champion buff here on the Nightmare, able to push 6 workers where he otherwise would have to stay on 5. I like it.
Yeah. And for Fake One, he's plus 10? No arcane, I suppose. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I mean,
Kind of an
this
awkward
feels
role.
too safe to me in
Yeah.
Fake One's lane. Like, he's 4 workers, not treasure hunting, receiving a lizard. I don't know, man. He maybe could have got 80
Yeah.
though, looking at King Dan's remaining Mythium. So maybe it's just sensible. And Stanley does leak to
Yeah.
the snail, so
Fair enough. I think he just ended up with awkward gold and had to do what he had to do.
yeah. Stanley does have 80 Mythium here. Could go for Hermit
Yeah,
or
he could go for
Dino.
it, and he does.
Does okay, but
But
King Dan's
I
has
don't.
the
Yeah,
Daphne. That's the problem.
yeah. I don't think this leaks very badly, but we shall see.
We'll see. He gets a snail as well, right? So it can at least tank the Daphne for a second.
Yeah. I think normally you don't even have the seedling, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Let's keep eyes. This Daphne is a ton of damage here. The Hermit is straight onto the Daphne,
Yeah, I
which
think that's
actually is
good.
probably good for King Dan's.
Yeah. You want it to tank because obviously it's better defensive type than
Yeah.
the flower is.
It will go down now. It
Yeah.
does. He leaks 58%. I think that's
Yeah,
that's probably
reasonable.
okay for both players, honestly. Like, okay for
Yeah.
King, decent hold, okay for Stanley, decent leak.
Yeah.
Kind
and
of
fine covers.
an even trade.
Yeah. And Fine going for a big income send of his own now. He could look for Power Mix here. Like Imps would kind of destroy Stanley, I think. But actually
Oh.
he goes for Double Brute.
Yeah. So
Actually everyone's going for Power Mix.
that was his plan, right? Like, if he receives double brute, he will. Otherwise, it's just going to be like a cannoneer. And
Yeah.
he got there. He got to the 120. So
How will he deal with the Robo in his lane though?
well, there's a second one as well. So Fake One did manage to get the 80 out here. Fine. He does drop the fully buffed
Yeah.
Treant though. Pretty good on 5.
And his Nightmare should split tank here, looking at his positioning. I think I'll tank some of those
It
small
does. It
creeps.
does.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe
Maybe
doesn't
tanking
wanna
too
tank
much,
both
actually.
Robos.
It's dying way before the Treant. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's not happy with that.
Fine's not too fine. King Dan's, meanwhile, he's doing okay. Stanley against the double brute. He's doing quite well, but still 75% there. Fine leaks 47, and Fake One, though, he's going to hold here.
Snack.
But so did King Dan's.
Yeah. So probably the person who comes out of that the most ahead is the Fake One. He got Power Mercs and held, sent Power Mercs and got leaks.
Yeah.
So very nice for him.
They are losing a bit more King HP. Actually, it's basically exactly even on the King HP.
Yeah.
Give or take a couple of
think-
points.
Probably Stanley and Fine were the big losers out of that.
Yeah.
Fine, probably not too happy with what his Nightmare just did.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate, actually, for Fine.
Yeah.
Like, he needed that thing to stay alive. He could have done much better against the Send.
Yeah, like if those Robos were able to go on like the tree or the seed first, it would have been much better. But
Mhm.
on the plus side, King does have a small lead in this early game so far, so
Mhm.
see what he can do. He has to worry about wave 8 next, probably.
Yeah.
But honestly, a lot of these players need to worry about wave 8.
Wave 8 is just deadly right now, not least because it's just that threshold where you can have a pretty high income game and still, like, skip one wave and send a pack leader.
Yeah. But everyone's sending the sides fine. Fine, playing very aggressively here, looking for maybe a wave 8 punish against this very weak build.
Yeah.
And Stanley is pretty pushed. He could get caught on 8, especially if this turns out to be a long wave from Fine pro leaking.
Fine is really strong here, though. I think
Yeah,
he should be
yeah.
okay. Although this is going to pull everything to the right.
Yeah, I worry. Hopefully his Nightmare doesn't go on an adventure. But it looks okay.
Yeah, it looks fine. At least all of his other melees are going down first.
Yeah. And even then, the Nightmare can kind of serve as a tank now with the Tramp bonus. It's not too bad. In fact, may not even be that long of a wave.
And he's absolutely fine. I mean, he received a single lizard.
Yeah. And he will just go income.
Okay.
So no big threat into Stanley's lane. Fine, just providing a little bit of cover for King, maybe.
These are some long waves right now.
Actually, King is... I wonder if there's a little regret in Fine's mind. He could have sent a back leader.
He did get the 160 Mythium, yeah. Maybe he sent too soon.
Stanley would have leaked everything.
Oh, yeah.
Minus 200
yeah. Like, he would be lucky to kill the pack leader, I think.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Fine also would be lucky to... I think he's going to get brooted here. I think Fake One will out a brute, but... This is kind of a crazy greed from Fine, considering you greeted, got away with it, and then you greed again.
Well, here comes the brute, so let's see.
Yeah.
We've got the double brute for King Dans. He did add a badger though, so he might do okay.
Yes, Daphne is tanking nicely.
Over in Fine's lane. The champion Nightmare is now the
it's
only thing
kicking
alive.
halfway.
It is getting slowed down a lot by the brute. There it goes. That will be a leak for Fine. And it looks like it will for King Dans as well. 58% for Fine there. King's doing extremely well here against the double brute. Stanley leaks to income. Can you imagine if that had been a pack leader?
Yeah, he would not have killed the unit, I think. Well, he might have killed something, but...
Yeah. That was 200.
that's
It could have been like Pack Robo or something. He would have leaked so much.
I
But
think
the
it was
King
a pretty
upgrades
big
are useful
mistake.
as well, right? Because they understand they're receiving a send of their own.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in Fine, he would not have gotten it if he did not push, so it's understandable. But I think you do always want to wait until you can see fully how much Mythium you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
So, but he gets to the Doppel now.
Ooh, King Dan's going for a bit of an Ashton send here. The Cannoneer plus Brute after income. Let's see. Fake One's quite high value here. I think he's going to do okay.
Yeah, this unit is kind of a beast. But you never know.
It reduces so much damage. Like the wave creeps are doing literally 0 damage after they've been hit twice.
Yeah. Well, it might get focused after this Slime Mommy goes down, so we'll see.
Slime Mommy's back alive though, so those
May
little blobs
just
can
be
do
tanky
some
enough.
damage. King Dan's leaks half the way to a Cannoneer, that's not ideal.
I don't think so, but he does get some gold back.
Does he ever kill this one? No. 43% there.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Fake One leaks less to a
Yeah.
full send than King Dan's does to just an income send.
And everyone knows that Overwork is in the game.
Yeah,
Pretty scary.
Overwork's representing a real threat
This
right
build is very weak on 11. This build is not that good on 11.
here. Yeah.
It may have to be a
This
sack.
can be okay. This build can do pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. I think sack is very likely on the cards for King. Like, if he could get to this full Avenger, maybe he has a chance.
Fake One doesn't really have good options for 11 either. This could get spicy.
I mean, the Manta will be doing Manta things, and then he can maybe get to an Alpha Male. But yeah, I would think that could be a pretty big swing point here.
Fine just going for the auto send. King Dan's is queuing up some real mercenaries, and the worst polls have
Speaking of
already
real
released the
mercenaries.
Four Eyes.
Okay, everyone goes for real, but one team goes Overwork, one team goes sack, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm glad that Fine didn't just auto send here.
Yeah, I think you have to realize what is happening. So this is a pretty... Well, it can pop off on 11. There is a Four Eyes, though, so we'll see how it goes. But
Four Eyes is a very good counter to that, so...
we do have a sack play here from Fine to get out the Chieftain. He can Chieftain buff a tree and build another tree.
Hmm.
So that is a lot of tank value.
That's what he's going to go for. Let's see, will it be enough? They have more value on the side of Slot Machine, but the sends are quite a lot larger coming in from the worst poles.
Yeah,
now,
that's that overwork versus sack. But I do like the sack more generally here, and I think Fine will hold because of it.
Well, the Four Eyes is on that Doppelganger already. That thing
He's
goes
still got that
down.
Chieftain.
The Sovereign of King Downs did not pop off enough. That's 100% leak for him. Fine is only leaking the Four Eyes, so a really solid hold from him, but not quite enough. Meanwhile, both of the poles are leaking as well.
King spell.
Yeah, they never die to this on the side of the poles. How about Slot Machine? Do they survive?
Double Four Eye, but I think they're okay. It's more that the other one team has overwork now, so
very long
that
way.
could be kind of scary. Especially with King's build not being the best.
6% HP. Slot Machine are going for a full resend, but the poles are ready for it, Offmer. The poles are ready for it and then some. They're not willing to take any risky business here that might cost them the game. They can sniff this Nova Cup championship.
Yeah, the funny thing is usually you expect the team with overwork to be the one making the play, but yeah, there may be a Nova Cup winning play happening right here.
Yeah. Fake One could afford to build a little bit extra. He's not going for it, so that should be a leak on him. But Stanley, plus 170, he's just going to hold and cover.
I would think so, especially with a unit like Gate, where you can just get max value, but he's not getting overrun yet. He got out the melee.
I mean, Gate always shines when you're plus value, right? So
yeah, he looks like he's vibing.
Yeah, he's fine. Fake One's even doing better than I expected, to be honest. He's going to leak small, and a small leak is honestly good for them because they have by far the pressure lead here, and Slot Machine with 7% HP on their king, they cannot afford a single leak.
Yeah, and they can kind of just go 15 now.
It looks like that's what they're angling for, yeah.
And, well, Fine does have a surprise for 15 with the Phoenix, so that may be what he has to rely on here, but very nice read from the worst polls there.
Yep. Good presence of mind not to just unnecessarily take risks when they're in a winning position.
Yeah.
Let's see when they decide to try and close this game out. Will it be 15 as you suggested? Ah, they're actually going 14.
Wow.
I don't know about this one, Offmer. This could be one way for them to lose the game.
It's giving them a chance.
Ah, but Fine and King are going full as well.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a 5-head play from the polls.
I mean, I guess the thing is they have a whisker of HP left, so
yeah,
anything will do. But King, if there was a wave he was very good on, it is not 15, it is 14.
Yeah, like this thing with Lifesteal and Tree of Life, this is just infinite HP value to get through.
Fine is very low value, to be fair, but...
He's got another 200 to spend.
I wonder if he should just try and, sack one of his Mantas with the Chieftain buff and, make it tank a lot, because it's arcane.
Yeah, he should.
I think Looter is not the best target.
Alright, let's see. We've got 700 Mythium for Fine, 640 for King Downs. There's fairly big sends on the side of the poles as well, but they're both on value, so let's keep eyes. The Doppelganger does go down here for Fine. He is getting overrun. The Arcane tanks, they are down now as well. He's not leaking badly, but leaking he is. However, King Downs, this Sovereign is an absolute raid boss. The Four Eyes will get through, though, and I think that's going to be enough, Offmer. I think the worst poles have just clutched this June Nova Cup.
Beasts.
Polska Gorom, man! Let's go!
Yeah.
I called it, guys. Scripted Nova Cup confirmed, because Pakistan and Fake One are your June Nova Cup champions. Very, very well played.
Yeah, that was really impressive from them.
What a back and forth game to end it on as well. Like,
Yeah.
this was not a stomp in either direction. It was just really close tug of war style game between the two teams. Finally closed out there on 14 by Fake One and Pakistan. So really, really well played. Let me see if we can get those guys in here for a winner's interview.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Alright, Elon should know his way here. I may need to sort out the role for Pakistan. Yeah, let me do that. There's so many roles in this server now, it's hard to find the one I need. There we go.
Beast.
I've got him. He has been added.
Hello?
Hello, Elon. Congratulations.
Greeting from Pakistan.
I have.
Thank you.
I've given the role to Pakistan, so he should be able to join us as well if he knows where to go.
I'll tell him.
Yeah.
Wait, let me quickly. Let me quickly just show him. Oh yeah, he's got it.
There we go.
All right.
Oh shit,
Hey.
man!
Well, guys.
Finally.
Yeah, finally! Congratulations! Like, you guys have been threatening Nova Cup wins for a few months now. You've made it into the finals, what, once or twice, I think?
We've won the second div once. We've been to the finals once, and
Yeah.
we've been to semis a couple of times. But
Yeah.
I feel like every time we get to semis, we choke.
Well, not
Like
today.
we always, whenever we play, I feel like I don't know what Paki feels, but like, from like some of the games we played versus the better players, we have a tendency to like try to shut down Ashton or whoever instead of playing our roles,
Mhm.
and we like that's certainly something I did, like int my role just to try and get someone else. And I feel like this Nova we played more towards how our roles are structured and what we can do aggressively versus what they can do defensively, right? So for example, the last game, Paki went 7 Workies on 3 just to get the Hermit on King, which is like probably not the best play for Paki himself, but like since he has the whirly bird, he can do it. And then my role, which was Giga terrible early game, gets so much better. I can play the game because otherwise I have no units for early.
Mhm. That's really interesting, because we were wondering, like, you were playing really safe on 3. I think you were 4 workers, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
While Stanley was up there on 7, and yeah, you really punished King then with that Hermit on 4. He actually did quite well, but even so, the fact that you leaked him like more than half the wave while he was low workers, you're just really pressuring that early game advantage. But I mean, I want to talk about that game 3, guys, the wave 7 banger. Like, that's the fastest game that we've seen in Nova Cup, in my memory anyway. But to be fair, I'm old, so my memory goes about as far as yesterday.
The 4 ion.
It was a 4 eye on 5 one.
And that's literally like 2 months ago. So yeah. I said I'm old, guys, but certainly the fastest game this month. We did have a Wave 8 game ended by Shadow and L1 yesterday, but you guys, not to be outclassed there, went for the 7. And yeah, like, we were kind of... Look, I'm going to be honest. I was biased at the start of the cast. I called it for you guys. I said that you're going to take it this month. And I'm very happy that you did. I'm very, very pleased for you guys to join us here. Finally winning a Nova Cup. I think you absolutely deserve it. You've been, playing really, really solidly over the last few months and have finally managed to convert it. So I'm really happy for you guys. Well done there. But even so, I was a little bit worried after game 1. Like, that was kind of rough for you guys. But you weren't deterred in any way whatsoever, and you just came back super strong in the next 3 games and just knocked it out of the park. So really, really well played. Congratulations from me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
what did you
I
guys
looked at
talk
game
about
one.
after game 1?
So I don't think we were particularly worried. I think King played very well versus me because he kept tripping me, and my role. I feel like I played the role poorly. I should have just played Fire Archer as I usually do, because that's I think my favorite opener on this patch. But I was like, oh no, this has to be a Tempest game. But the issue is, I can't really play Tempest, so I never should pick Tempest like that. I'm not FC Lucy, okay? I suck at Tempest, and I just couldn't push, and then afterwards the game got so out of hand. Like I feel like I'm in a chokehold where I don't do anything versus fine, and then I don't push any war keys, and King is just dripping me and like for fanning me. That was so. I think for me at least that was a lot about the role, and wasn't like Paki pressured as well that game. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing really well in those Starvy games, so they've got much more experience, I think, in those kind of games.
Yeah.
Oh, and you walled me on 10. That 10 walled was so bad. That 10 walled was so bad. The game was so playable after we leaked them on 9. Like, there's an angle, is what I'm gonna say, because I have Disciple Steeds, but then you walled me on 10. That was so bad because King gets infinite gold from King damage.
Well, it's nice to know that you don't hold any grudges against your teammates who've just won
Well,
Nova
never,
Cup.
never. I would never, because he Giga carried game 2, so,
Yeah.
like, never.
Yeah.
I would never.
Were you guys
I was-
happy to see the Fiesta? Like, you are expecting it, right?
For
Yeah,
game two?
yeah. We called it before the game started.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
did you
and
feel
that was-
good about the like Fiesta game? So then you went for like to play Fiesta yourselves, or did you just were you always gonna play it?
I mean, I think we have a very, very good win rate in Nova Cups with Fiesta Cartel.
Mm.
I think
Yeah, I think
my
that's
Fiesta,
one of our best pairings. So
yeah, and my Fiesta has gotten like real good. I think over the time. I feel like if my role is in Grief, and to be fair, I'm not that comfortable as many of the other high elo players with some of the units and some of the roles. But I feel like if my role is decent, I feel like I can play Fiesta well, or at least well enough to either pressure someone or try to scale. Maybe I'm not, always Johnny C, but it definitely works for us. And I feel like I think Paki, we were looking at the spells, and it was Overwork, and then what was it again? There was
Overwork,
one
sack,
defense.
and
Titan?
investment.
No. That was game.
Oh,
that was
that was game 4. Game 3
that was game 4, and game 2 was Overwork, and then I feel like Investment and Titan or something.
I
Or
think
Venture.
game
Oh no,
2
it was
was
Venture.
Venture Dark Ritual. Was game 2.
No, it was not Dark Raid. We wouldn't have gone Fiesta Cartel into Dark Raid. I think it was Titan.
Oh,
or
sorry,
something.
that was game
like
2. I think
semi-defensive.
game 3 was
Yeah. So it just felt like, Overwork is very good for Fiesta Cartel if you get the good rolls, and both of us had so much fucking juice. Man, I'm sitting on Aqua, Fist, and Paki is just Nightmare, Butcher, Fist. That's like, I think that's one of the
my role
best.
was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And King starved me, which was so bad for him actually,
Hmm.
because then Paki gets to annihilate him on 6, and wave 7 was just like, we're 14 and 13 Morkies. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
Literally, they just lose the game because they did what Fine pushed 2, King pushed 1, and they still died because we're just like so giga ahead by that point.
Yeah. I mean,
I always
that
feel good
was
about that
that was
pairing.
crushing. That was a very one-sided game. That one. The other games not so much though. There was quite a lot of back and forth, and the last game that we just saw actually was probably the closest game of the whole series. It was super touch and go. One side had the lead, the other side took it back, vice versa, vice versa. It kept on happening, and then at some point you guys just spied this wave 14 angle, went all in on it, and look, the rest is history. You're here right now. But like, at what point did you think, okay, wave 14 looks like an angle, let's go for it?
I'm trying to
It was
remember.
it was more of the we can't skip 14 with our boards.
Yeah.
So we just went there.
We
Had
wanted
to
15,
respect their
actually.
scent.
Yeah. So the thing is, we knew that our overwork play is not gonna be super insane. I
Mhm.
personally thought King would hold so much better, but he kind of got rolled. Soft sucks without tanks, even with Tree of Life on 11. But Fine held super well. So we kind of knew that there's an angle that they just try and resend us 12. Paki kept calling resend 12. And yeah, that was pretty much it. We knew we had to skip because their boards are just so good on 12, 13. So we knew we can't push too much. We have to skip, and then we were aiming for 15. But I don't know. The game pace dictated 14. Just like
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
And I feel like in general, this game would have been so much harder if Fine was playing a real mastermind instead of champion. I don't know what you guys think, but
Well,
to me,
I
that
think
feels like,
champion. I think champion can be real, but he just didn't really have the role for it. Like he had nightmare, or I can't remember if he put it on nightmare or his poster. It was nightmare, right?
Yeah.
But he just didn't have any synergy for it. So like the difference between a champion nightmare on its own and a champion nightmare with a butcher is like night and day. Like it's so strong if you have lifesteal as well, and he just didn't. So his, I don't think it's necessarily the mastermind's fault so much as he didn't really have any
Yeah.
synergy in his role. Like you can put champion on a strong unit, but if that unit doesn't have any of the other auras that really help it to shine, then well, we saw what happens.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
but
he
at
got
the
a
same
bit
time-
unlucky on 5 as well.
Mm.
Like his, I mean, maybe he can position better.
I mean, that's just
but-
positioning diff. That's just positioning diff, I think. Because that fourth column Steed drags, and then Nightmare goes like around to catch the wave. I think that's a mistake on Fine's part. I'm not sure. I would have to sandbox it, but otherwise, I feel like Champion's just butt in a game where there's a lot of early leaks, right?
Yeah.
We have income, and he's sitting there on 12. He even skipped 4, which, yeah, in the end meant that we're just chilling because he leaks 5 as well.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know.
Um,
I just want to say something real quick because we're not playing next month, and I'm not sure when we will be able to play Nova Cup. We've been, I think, our first Nova was like a year ago, maybe even a bit longer since we started doing this. But we were giga noobs back then. I feel like we're slightly less of a noob team now. Dangerous enough to take a game or a couple of games out of the better teams. But what I wanted to say is that since Paki is going to the military next month, and he's gonna be able for I don't know how long. By the way, sorry for doxing you, Paki. It was sort of this last Nova that we knew we were playing for sure, and then the next one's sort of up in the air. So
Oh, that's amazing.
for me it was, for me it was the approach of fuck it, let's just have fun, right? It's just like the last time we're gonna, because we both like to play Novas just for an experience, not even win money or whatever. I don't know how other people treat it, but for us it's more about competition and fun, and this was the best way to sort of close this chapter of us doing it pretty much every month. That was pretty fucking fun, not gonna lie. And also we beat Ashton, which for me is like a huge mental block. So yeah.
You and everyone else, but that's a really cool story. That's a really cool story. Thanks for sharing, and good luck, Pakistan, in the military. I hope you do well.
Thank you.
He's gonna get cooked by the vets.
Yeah. And he's gonna be.
Are you feeling familiar? The military, you guys are like pretty fond of it in the US.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll send you Paki once he, I don't know how you call it. It's not graduates, but like whatever you do. Yeah, I'll borrow you.
Become an
Paki.
American as well, honorary.
Awesome stuff. Well, in that case, I'm extra pleased that you guys won this month because it might be your last chance for a while. So, massive congratulations! But you absolutely earned it. Like it's not just there's no luck involved. You played extremely solidly throughout all of day one. Clearly, your semi-final as well, and then the show that you just put on in the grand finals here was very impressive to watch. So, I think from me. It's Polska Gorom, and
Polska Górom.
thank you for correcting. Let me try that again. Polska Gorom. Is that any better? Gorom.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
The rolling R, I can appreciate.
I'm trying. I'm also very sick, which makes my Polish. My Polish is better normally, as you know, fake one.
Yeah. You nail the chest every single time.
Cześć, yes. I liked it when some of your creeps said cześć to the king on wave one. I got it in there then. But look, I'm absolutely made up for you guys to win here. The play that you put on there was really, really quite special to watch. A very, very well-deserved first Nova Cup victory, so massive, massive congratulations. I don't really have any more questions from myself, Offma.
No, nothing. I just wanted to say it's really cool. I think like I don't know, like a year and a half ago or something, I did like a quick like maybe like 1 hour VOD review with Fake One back when he was
Yep.
like a bit of a noob, and it's really cool to see how good you've gone, and it's really impressive. So really great work from you, and obviously it's not just you; it's a great team. So it's really cool seeing Paki just. I mean, I haven't actually talked with you that much, but seeing you on ladder, seeing your games, and you got a lot better, and seeing you in the Nova Cups, it's super sick, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So what you're saying ultimately is it's your fault that he
Yeah,
won?
it's actually
Yeah, it's-
I actually won this Nova Cup.
So advert here for Offma Coaching. There is a Discord if people want to join. You can be the next Nova Cup champion. But that's
Shameless, absolutely shameless.
absolutely shameless. Yeah, but we've got to plug him, Offma does a lot for the
Yeah,
community,
yeah.
to be fair
He
to the
deserves
guy.
it.
He does.
Yeah, actually, you also do a lot for the community, and I mentioned it yesterday in the chat, but Jules needs to get you a new chair, bro. Your chair looks so like it needs to go. Okay, let her go.
Dude,
Just let her go, Penny.
This chair is older than my children, man. This chair has been here for a
It's
long
probably older than me looking at it.
It's,
So
it's been here for a long time. It's kind of comfy. Like the old girls, like she's looked better, but she still does her
just
job.
let her go, bro. No, you have to let her go. She needs to rest.
She's
you know?
she's a comfy old chair, but maybe. But guys, I think that's about everything that we have time for on the cast today. So some of the usual thank yous, of course, to Offma for casting both days with me this time and for being an absolute machine in terms of going the extra mile with the cast while I've been suffering with my throat. So thank you massively for that. All of the usual to the tournament organisers, the developers, and everyone behind the scenes for making Nova Cup run as smoothly as it does, and to all the Twitch viewers as well. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and the final thing from me is one last congratulations to our very deserving winners, Fake One and Pakistan IQS. Well done, guys.
Thank you very much. Also, shout out
Thank
to you
you.
guys. Amazing job as always. I was
Thank you.
popping in between games and such, and yeah, get better, Penny. And also shout out to Fine because he's been swapping teammates lately with Pavadet sort of being AFK for Nova Cups, and I think Fine's been beasting it. He's insane.
Yeah, he's a beast as well. Also, Polska Gorom, I see.
Yeah,
I'm trying. There's a very rolled R that time.
yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you,
On
guys.
that bombshell, I think we're gonna leave it here. We're gonna close the love in for now, and make sure you are here for the July Nova Cup because we may have some exciting news to share next month. So I won't say any more on that, but we will see you back in July. Until then, guys, goodbye.